Welcome to Carbon High School. It's baseball time again here on KOAL 107.3 FM, 750 AM. Bonus game of the week. It's the Carbon Dinos, North Sanpete in game number 2. North Sanpete winning game number 1 yesterday, 2-1. So if the Dinos win game number 2, we'll play game number 3 today. So it could be a long day here. Hopefully it is, as the Dinos need to win game number 2. I'm Sonny Buscarini, and joining me, Aiden Mortensen. And Aiden, pleasure to be here again for Carbon Dino Baseball. Big game here today for the Dinos as they find themselves down 1-0.
Yeah, it's a pretty big game, Sonny. They're looking to avoid a repeat of last year where North Sanpete knocked them out of the playoffs. Last year, a bit of a bigger upset. That was a 3-14 seed matchup. This year, we're looking at a more typical 8-9 seed matchup. But North Sanpete came out yesterday, and offensively, they were firing on all cylinders in almost every department except for one, that being actually bringing those runners home.
Yeah, they left a lot of runners on base. I believe it was 11.
11 runners left on base yesterday, and that really summed up that game. I mean, it felt like it was a game North Sanpete should have won a lot more handily, but the Dinos did a good job in situations where bases were loaded, 1 or 2 runners were on base, managing that situation and escaping the inning, only allowing 2 runs throughout the entire game. So they did an excellent job defensively. Mike Vigil had a good day up on the hill for the Dinos. But today is a new day, Sonny, and the Dinos looking to put that memory behind them and look ahead to the future.
So the lineup for the Dinos will be number 9, Ridge Butler will lead off second base. Logan Bennett will bat second. Number 24, center field. Mike Vigil, third base. Maddox Wilson, right field. Logan Madrigal, the first base. Tyrus Madsen, left field. Cannon Childs, DH. Jackson Bozzoni, shortstop. And pitching will be the senior today for the Carbon Dinos, Stockton Kennedy. That'll be the lineup for the Dinos.
And 2 players on the Dinos yesterday were able to collect a hit. Mike Vigil came away with a double, and Paxton Falk hit his first home run of the year in absolutely dominant fashion. He did it when the team needed it most to cut into that 2-run deficit, but unfortunately it was too little too late. But at the end of the game, the bats started to get going for the Dinos. One thing that really stands out to me, Sonny, is the amount of walks they were able to secure. That's where they really made a lot of their impact, was by getting walked to first base and then being aggressive on the bases.
And for North Sanpete, it will be Matson, Bailey, Smith, Costello, Williams, Olson, Osborne, Olroyd, Guidos, and pitching will be Rostron.
And 5 hits yesterday for North Sanpete, but a good day overall. We'll take a quick break here on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM and get right back to the game of the week.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck, because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
Is it time to trade in the old and get something new? If you've been driving by the dealerships, scoping out the selection, and you're not seeing what you want, Auto Farm Price Ford is here to help. Hi, I'm Justin Kennedy, sales manager here at Auto Farm Price Ford. Stop by today and let us pre-order your dream vehicle. You can choose every bell and whistle straight from the factory. Best of all, when your vehicle's done, it will be delivered right to the dealership, so stop by to Auto Farm Price Ford, 811 Westwood Boulevard. Let us order your dream vehicle today.
This is Dave
and Ryan
from Dave and Ryan's Movie Review.
Experience movies the way God intended them to be seen. On the big screen.
At the King Cole Theaters.
And action.
Whether it's stunning action,
heart-stopping horror,
tender romance,
gut-busting comedy,
or wholesome family flicks,
movies are always better
on the big screen. Connect on Facebook for instant access to showtimes and the latest blockbusters.
With showing 7 nights a week and matinees on weekends, you can immerse yourself in the magic of movies at the King Cole Theaters.
You're listening to the High School Baseball Game of the Week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back to the Game of the Week, Carbon Dinos. As we take a look at the pitchers once again, Peyton Rostron will be pitching for North Sanpete. He wears number 10. He is a senior.
And on the season, Sonny, a 5.29 ERA and a 2.4 win-loss ratio through 10 appearances, but does have a save to his name. Looking at those strikeouts outs for Rostron, 43 innings pitched, one of the most tenured pitchers on this staff, has 28 strikeouts on the season.
Peyton Rostron, he'll be pitching for North Sanpete. For the Carbon Dinos, it'll be the senior wearing number 12, Stockton Kennedy.
And Kennedy, we know he can throw that ball. We saw it now. He's had a great year up on the mound, a 1.99 ERA through 8 appearances this year, Sonny. He's an absolute ace, 31 innings pitched with 33 strikeouts. Only giving up 1 home run all year, so he's someone who you know can take control of this game early, at least on the defensive side of things.
So North Sanpete will be the home team here for game number 2. They take the field in their gray pants with the black jerseys, red numbers. The Carbon Dinos looking sharp today in their white pinstripes with the red hats. With the blue hats, and I'm not colorblind, honestly. Blue hats. And we're ready to get going here for game number 2. Looking forward to it. Aiden, should be a good one.
That it should, Sonny, and the Dinos win or go home situation. If they can't come away with the win in game 2 here, the season is done, and the seniors on this squad don't want to let that happen.
Okay, senior wearing number 9, Ridge Butler, will start us off playing second base, leadoff batter for the Carbon Dinos, and we're ready to get going for game number 2 here in the series with North Sanpete leading it 1-0, and we are ready to go. First pitch is outside and a ball and a 1-0 count.
Yesterday, Ridge was 0 of 3 at the plate with 1 walk.
Really important they get him on base. With his speed to get him around in scoring position is very important for the Dinos. Pitch number 2 for a ball as well, and it's a 2-0 count.
He entered double-digit bases stolen yesterday. He has 10 on the year, so like you said, he gets on base. He's a real threat.
Yep. 2-0 count. Rostron with the pitch. Fly ball left field out of the land for a base hit. And the Dinos have the leadoff batter on with a single. And we're underway as Logan Bennett, the center fielder, the junior wearing number 24, coming to the plate for the Carbon Dinos with the runner on first and nobody down.
And already a better offensive output than what we were seeing yesterday from a majority of this roster. Being able to put that leadoff batter on base could prove pretty beneficial to the Dinos here in the opening inning.
Logan 0 for 3 yesterday. See if he can get going here. His first at-bat, game number 2 today. Small leadoff for Butler over at first. The first pitch once again is outside and a ball and 1-0. And so far, Peyton's had a hard time finding the plate.
That he has. Costello behind home plate in the catching slot, likely to try and steal. So he's doing everything he can to halt that.
Pitch is outside and a ball and a 2-0 count.
And like you said, Sonny, we have yet to see a strike thrown today. Early struggles from the North Sanpete pitcher.
It's 2-0 count. Rostron looks over at first, and he throws a strike and a 2-1 count.
Good off-speed throw, getting himself going into a rhythm with that one.
Bennett watched that one go past, so we have a 2-1 count with nobody down, runner on first for the Dinos. Nothing, just underway. Fouled out of play and a 2-2 count.
And just like that, starting behind 2-0, able to even that one up with a strike and then a foul ball. Bennett on the year hits a .217 hitter through 68 plate appearances.
2-2 count. Looks over at first. Fouled out of play, same spot. Count remains 2-2.
Evens it up. Logan Bennett batting for his life right now in the box.
Mike Vigil on deck for the Carbon Dinos, playing third base, wearing number 13. He'll be up next. 2-2 count, the pitch. There's a base hit in the right field, goes right over to the second baseman's head. We have runners on first and second. We have 2 singles to start the game for the Carbon Dinos.
And just like that, they have matched their hit total from yesterday in the first 2 batters. So a much improved Dinos team going right now on the offensive side of things. Now we need to see if their defense is going to be able to maintain that pace as well, as they have a visit up on the mound between the catcher and the pitcher.
Yeah, a quick one here with 2 batters, 2 on base for the Carbon Dinos, off to a good start. Mike Vigil, the third baseman, up to bat, as we said. On deck, Maddox Wilson, the right fielder.
And that's a group of kids you like to see. If they can get all 3 of these top of the order batters on base, I think good things are going to happen this inning for the Dinos.
So runners on first and second, no score in this ball game, top of the first inning. Rostron with the pitch. Fly ball goes out into center field, coming in to make the play, makes a diving catch. does Bailey for out number 1, and then the runner advances to third base, so runners on the corner with 1 down.
And that was a great job by Ridge Butler, tagging up on second base before dashing all the way to third. Not even a doubt that he was going to reach that base, and he's so fast.
So 1 down, runners on the corner. Number 17, the junior, Maddox Wilson, playing right field up to bat for the Carbon Dinos.
And yesterday, Maddox was 0-2 with 1 walk, but on the season, he's been a real threat at the plate for the Dinos. 322 hitter leads the team in batting average.
Base hit here will most likely score a run for the Carbon Dinos, and that's what they had yesterday was 1. This is the top of the first inning, so off to a good start for the Dinos. And the first pitch is a strike, runner goes to second, no thrill. 2 runners in scoring position with an 0-1 count.
Not even a thought of a throw there from behind home plate, just throws it right back to the mound as Bennett dashes to second base.
Rostron with the pitch. Fouled out of play and an 0-2 count.
It's foul balls like that make me glad I parked on the other parking lot. Swinging that with a lot of power. That's what sets Maddox Wilson apart, though, is he is a true power hitter and only a junior at that. You see him on the football field, he's strong there, and he's especially strong on the diamond.
0-2 count. Pitches low and a ball and a 1-2 count.
And Costello does a good job using his body as an additional tool in his catching arsenal. If it looks like it's going to go past, we've seen him several times over this series lay his body on the line and take one to the chest in order to keep from going to the backstop.
Rostron takes his time. Pitch. Goes foul. Hard line drive shot. Count 1-2.
Nearly hits the leg of Ridge Butler out on third base. One of those ones you're glad ended up missing you.
Yeah. 1-2 count with 1 down. Runners on second and third. No score in this ball game. Top of the first inning. Fly ball. Pop up to first base. There to make the catch is Hudson Smith for out number 2, and the runners stay on second and third.
And yesterday, Hudson Smith delivered an absolute gem on the mound, now having his impact felt on first base. And that was the only kind of pop fly you really didn't want to see the Downs have. One of those can of corns falling from the sky as it takes out the possibility of trying to bring in a sacrifice fly. The play at home is just too easy there now. Things get a little more stressful for the Dinos.
So runners on second and third with 2 down. The pitch to Logan Madrigal, and the first pitch is fouled away and a 0-1 count with 2 down.
Yesterday he was 0-2 in the batter's box, but he was able to reach on an error.
Oh, 1 count. Pitcher doesn't look at any runners, winds up, throws a ball, and it's a 1-1 count, and it's low and inside.
He knows for the most part he's not going to have to keep anyone in check right now. It created a bit of a logjam if Bennett was going to try and steal third, but Butler did not try and steal home. So he knows he doesn't have as much to think about right now.
Looks back at second this time. Pitches outside and a ball, 2-1.
Jumping ahead in the count early. Madrigal staying patient in the box.
Falk on deck for the Carbon Dinos. He had the lone run for the Dinos yesterday. His solo home run over left field. That was a bomb. Welcome the pitch. Fouled out of play and a 2-2 count.
And like you said, that was an absolute bomb. I think it landed in the residential neighborhood across the street from the complex here. Just an absolute dime by Falk over the fence.
2-2 count, 2 down. Looks over at first. The pitch is outside the ball and a full count, 3-2.
Loads it up. Now a lot of stress rests in the arms of Rostron as he has a full count. A walk here, loads the bases, a strikeout, ends the inning and leaves 2 stranded. Got to be a lot running through your head right now as a pitcher.
Full count, 3-2. Second and third runners, steps off.
Buying himself some time, wants to make sure he has the right mental advantage as well.
This 3-2 pitch, really no reason to really worry about the base runners. Throw a strike. There's a fly ball to left field out of play, and the count remains full 3-2.
And continuing to battle in the box. Madrigal's not going down without a fight.
21 pitches so far in the top of the first inning for Rostron. Senior gets the sign and the pitch. Fly ball center field. That's deep. Could be trouble, and it is. Is it caught? It is caught at the warning track to end the inning. What a play by Maddox Bailey out in center field for North Sanpete.
That was one of the most spectacular catches I've ever seen, Sonny. That looked like it had the chance to go yard. Bailey doesn't give up on it, going all the way to the warning track, and he's able to pull down a front roll as he snags that ball out of the air. A little hesitation from everyone involved to see if he came down with that catch or not, but he did to end the inning and strand 2 for the Dinos.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning. We're tied at 0 when we come back.
I'm here with Dr. Callie at Castle Valley Orthodontics to talk about common questions regarding braces. Dr. Callie, am I too old for braces?
No, never. We have quite a few adult patients that come into our office to seek orthodontic treatment, whether for the first time or to fix things that might have gotten back to being crooked from not wearing retainers. So age is not a problem. As long as the teeth and gums are healthy, we can do braces. Give us a call today. Castle Valley Orthodontics, 637-2222. And we will schedule you for a free consultation.
It's fun! It's our favorite place.
Strike up family fun for everyone. Gateway Lanes. Families that play together stay together. And Gateway Lanes is your center for fun, cold beer, snacks, and great food. Select Gateway Lanes through the cookie with open and league bowling year-round and Club Bowl Thursday night, 9 till 11:30, with unlimited bowling including shoes. Since 1989, Helper's Hometown Bowling Center, Gateway Lanes, South Main Street in historic Helper, and bowlhelper.com. Let's roll.
Now, back to the action. The high school baseball game of the week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back. 0-0 the scores. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Preston Madsen will start us off for North Sanpete, second baseman. He's a senior, wears number 9. And they will get their first at-bat for this afternoon. Will the Hawks, the right-handed batter, facing Stockton Kennedy.
Kennedy's had a spectacular season, again, a 1.99 ERA on the year. The Dinos have 2 aces on their staff that they've relied on very heavily throughout the year in Vigil and Kennedy. A good 1-2 punch.
So the windup and the pitch by Kennedy. Low and a ball and a 1-0 count.
And yesterday at the plate, Madsen was 0 of 2, but he was hit by a pitch and was able to score a run off that, so he made the most of his opportunity on the bases.
1-0 count, inside of the ball, 2-0.
Nearly takes another one there. He shows no fear in the batter's box. You rarely see him trying to duck out of the way of something.
Maddox Bailey on deck for North Sanpete here in the bottom of the first inning. The windup and the pitch by Stockton for the strike and a 2-1 count.
And he finds the bottom of the zone. These early innings for a pitcher are a bit of a struggle because you have to figure out how the umpire is going to be calling this game, how big his strike zone is, and what you're working with.
Strike 2, 2-2. So he fell behind 2-0. Now he's got an even 2-2.
2 consecutive strikes. That one hitting the right outside corner. Great control by Kennedy.
2-2 count. Stockton gets the sign, the windup and the pitch. And he got the corner for the strikeout. Strikeout number 1. Leadoff batter goes to the dugout, and it is 1 down for North Sanpete. Max Bailey, the center fielder, senior, wearing number 3 up to bat.
That was an excellent slider by Kennedy to punch the strikeout home. It looked like it was going to hang above the zone, but dropped last second in and gets the strike.
So 1 down for the Hawks. Nothing score, and the first pitch is a ball and a 1-0 count.
Yesterday, Maddox Bailey 1 of 3 with a single.
Down the tube for a strike and a 1-1 count.
What I like a lot about Stockton Kennedy is he doesn't have a wide arsenal of pitches, but the ones he throws, you feel very confident in.
Fouled away and a 1-2 count.
It's that old saying by Bruce Lee, I don't fear the man who's practiced 1,000 kicks one time. I fear the man who's practiced one kick 1,000 times. That's the mentality that Stockton Kennedy brings to this pitching staff.
So we have a 1-2 count with 1 down. Kennedy's pitch. Just misses and a 2-2 count.
2-2. Batter battles back up. Bailey trying to stay calm.
2-2 count, 1 down. Pitch is low. We got a full count, 3-2.
Down low in the dirt. Kennedy loads the count back up with that ball, but he's as confident as ever as he looks for the signal.
Pitches a ball and a walk. So a strikeout and a walk to start the inning for Kennedy. Runner on first for the Hawks, and up to bat will be Hudson Smith, the first baseman. Sophomore wears number 7.
That flirted right with the outside edge of the strike zone. Goes just a few inches too far left and results in the walk. Maddox Bailey reaches base for North Sanpete.
Small lead on first. Kennedy's first pitch is low and a ball and a 1-0 count.
He's trying to hit the left outside corner with that, but just hasn't been able to find it. The corners have been hard to find for both pitching staffs today.
Throw to second is high, and he'll get there for the stolen base runner in scoring position. For Hudson Smith, who reached on an error yesterday, and he did score a run, one of the two.
And Bozzoni with a nice grab on that pickoff attempt. Throw from Madrigal just a little too high. Bozzoni had to jump a good few feet off the ground. Couldn't turn around in time to make the tag.
1-1 count, 1 down. Runner on second takes a pretty good lead. Timeout.
And that big lead has been a consistent from North Sanpete. You see him jump out 10, 15 feet sometimes at second base, but the Dinos really haven't turned to any pickoff attempts. And so their confidence continues to grow and grow when it comes to how aggressive they can be with these leadoffs.
Decent lead again. Pitches outside and the ball. 2-1 count.
Kennedy behind for what feels like the first time since the first batter he faced.
So we got a 2-1 count. Pitch number 15 for Kennedy. It's a little blooper. It goes to the second baseman. The little shovel to first for the out, and a good play by Ridge Butler to finish that off over to Falcon. 2 down for the Carbon Dinos on the defensive side.
Yeah, Ridge races to field that ball, and a nice little shovel toss to Paxton Falk at first. Gets the out, but runner at third in Maddox Bailey.
So we have 2 down. And Aaron Costello, the catcher, up to bat.
Now, yesterday he was 0-2, but he reached on an error and had a walk. So he is patient in the box, and he knows how to play the zone.
First pitch a strike, second pitch a strike, and an 0-2 count. Kennedy gets ahead of the batter with the runner on third and 2 down, tied at 0.
And Costello, a batter, if you can put him down as fast as you can, you want to do that. He's a .410 hitter on the year.
Pitches outside and a 1-2 count.
He's a very patient batter, although only being a junior. He doesn't strike out much. 15 strikeouts on the year, but 19 walks, 20 with yesterday's.
A couple of lefties battling each other, and that just misses in a 2-2 count.
Costello evens it back up, takes a timeout to regain his composure outside, steps back into the box.
A good eye there. That was a close pitch.
It was a very good eye.
So we got a 2-2 count with 2 down. Fouled away. Count remains 2-2.
And Kennedy going back to that slider. It's a good 2-strike pitch that he relies on, but that time Costello reads it perfectly, is able to tip it off for the foul.
Wyatt Williams on deck for North Sanpete with the runner on third and 2 down. And a 2-2 count, make it a full count now with the ball and a 3-2.
And again, the plate vision of Costello really stands out at this at-bat. Nearly swings, checks it just in time as the ball heads towards home plate.
Yeah, he's left a couple of close pitches by with 2 strikes on him. This time he swings, a little bouncer down the first baseline, goes foul. The count remains 3-2.
And he just continues to battle in the box. He's refusing to go down without a fight. Kennedy up to 22 pitches now, looking for 23 here.
3-2 count. The pitch is in the dirt. A walk and runners on the corner. Second walk of the inning for Kennedy. Now runners on the corners for North Sanpete. As we said, Wyatt Williams, the DH, up to bat.
And Costello points to the dugout as he jogs to first. Runners on the corners for North Sanpete. If they can't bring him home, though, it looks like both teams are going to start this game with runners stranded.
Williams, 2 for 4 yesterday, a couple of singles. One of those singles right now would most likely score a run for the Hawks, and the first pitch is a strike and an 0-1 count.
And Williams kind of crowding the plate there. Kennedy sends a bit of a warning shot, gets in the strike zone, though, for strike number 1. Williams, a .356 hitter this year through 80 plate appearances.
Looks over at first. Inside and a ball and a 1-1 count.
That one flirting with a very similar space that it did in the first throw of this at-bat, but the difference was the first broke back into the zone. That one stayed straight.
Tied at 0, bottom of the first inning. That's going to be stopped by the shortstop, but no play made, and the runner scores for North Sanpete. Bailey comes in after the walk. He gets his way around the bases. And with that single, it's 1-0.
And sometimes stopping that ball is all you can do, especially when you have to dive to reach it. It's hard to make a diving catch and then stand up and make a play at second or first as quickly as you can. But runner comes home for North Sanpete.
Ashton Olsen, the third baseman, up to bat for the Hawks. He walked twice yesterday. Fouls his first pitch away in an 0-1 count.
And you can tell the confidence is changing for the Hawks, the momentum on their side. They're playing with a lot of swagger right now. Game 1 win yesterday, and now getting on the board early here.
So runners on first and second with the 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Kennedy looks back at second a couple of times and then throws a strike, 0-2.
Another good off-speed curve from Kennedy. That's been his bread and butter today. We've seen a lot of success when he goes to that pitch.
0-2 count. Looks back at second again a couple of times. Outside the ball, 1-2.
Tries to hit the curve again, just that time going a little too far outside of the zone for the 1-2 count.
One-two count. Kennedy looks back at second a couple of times again. High fly ball will go out of play, and the count remains 1-2.
Staying alive in the box is all that matters right now to Olsen. Again, a 182 hitter on the season with 80 plate appearances to his name, 10 hits and 8 RBIs. It feels like a hit into the gap will bring him another RBI with the runner on second.
1-2 count. Kennedy looks back at second. Wind up in the pitch. Swing and a miss and the strikeout, and that will end the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. We go to the top of the second inning. It's North Sanpete 1 and the Carbon Dinos 0.
It's time you started working close to home. GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance is looking for experienced miners, mechanics, electricians, and surveyors to fill local jobs. Stop traveling every week and let GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance find you a job closer to home and your family. No more leaving your family every week traveling to a work site. There are good paying jobs right here close to home, and GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance can help you get started today. Email your resume to kbarker@gmsminerepair.com. Your new job close to home is waiting for you.
JN Auto says it's time to get in the auto buying game. JN Auto is a game changer when you're looking for a new vehicle, but don't want to pay the new vehicle price. By making JN Auto a part of your team, you can count on finding quality, gently used vehicles with manufacturer warranties and unbeatable prices. You just found the secret to finding the perfect vehicle. It's JN Auto. Check out their huge inventory at jnautosales.com. JN Auto in Huntington and Price.
It's the high school baseball game of the week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Go to the top of the second inning. 1-0 North Sanpete with the lead. The Dinos up to bat. Paxton Falk will start us off, the first baseman, wearing number 32. The junior had the big home run yesterday, the 1 run that the Dinos scored yesterday. He'll come up to the plate for the Dinos as they trail 1-0.
Yeah, it was the biggest moment of the game yesterday for the Dinos, was the home run coming courtesy of Falk. Felt like it was going to be the momentum shift they needed, but unfortunately it didn't do enough for the Dinos, only bringing in 1 run.
Madsen on deck. Childs in the hole for the Carbon Dinos.
Got a score update coming out of Manti. Emory, after the first inning, down 3-0 to the Manti Templars. In the top of the first, Manti hung 3 runs on the Spartans.
Emory winning game number 1 yesterday.
Not only did they win, they won in dominant fashion, 8-0.
So North Sanpete with their first pitch to start the second inning is outside in the ball and a 1-0 count.
And that's one thing North Sanpete hasn't been doing the best today. Rostron just hasn't been able to find the zone as consistently as he might have liked.
Second pitch. Low on a ball, 2-0.
Jumping ahead in the count early, Falk knows if he gets a ball he likes, he can take a swing and hopefully come away with a moonshot like he had yesterday.
So we have a 2-0 count. Fouled out a play down the first base line and a 2-1 count.
And again, Rostron on the year, 28 strikeouts this season, has given up 2 home runs through 216 batters faced.
Two one count. 3-1 count. That pitch inside and a ball. So 3-1 to Paxton with the opportunity here to get on base with the 3-1 count ahead of the pitcher.
186 hitter on the regular season, but regular season faring a lot better.
And the wild pitch for the walk. And the leadoff batter for the Carbon Dinos on base. So first and second inning, the leadoff batter reaches for the Dinos, and up will be Tyrus Madsen, the left fielder. The senior wears number 10.
Yesterday he was 0-2 with 1 walk. The Dinos, of course, like you said, have gotten the leadoff runner on base in these first 2 innings, but they need to be able to capitalize on that now. We saw them strand 2 runners in the top of the first inning. Now they want to get something going to match the output of the Hawks.
So Madsen, right-handed batter, facing the left-handed pitcher for North Sanpete in the first pitch. Shot the third, covered there, throw the second in time for 1, throw to first for the double play, and they got it. Nice play that time by North Sanpete to get the double play.
That was a very nice play by North Sanpete, being able to go around the horn for that double play. One of the harder double plays to try and make. All of them are a little challenging, but especially with the distance the ball has to cover in such a short amount of time. But they clear the bases.
Guidos to Madsen to Smith. 2 outs in the first pitch is a ball and a 1-0 count.
And North Sanpete may not have started the inning as they liked, with Falco reaching first on the walk, but they're quickly able to bounce back, and they're looking fired up on the field.
6-4-3 double play, 2 down. Pitch is low in the ball, 2-0.
Ahead in the count now. Childs staying patient. He's one of the better hitters on this Dinos roster, a 304 hitter on the regular season yesterday. 0 of 3.
Fouled out a play, 2-1 the count.
So he's trying to find his footing against the North Sanpete pitching squad, which yesterday gave him a little trouble. But with the swing he's having, you can tell it hasn't shaken his confidence one bit.
Two-one count. Fouled out a play once again, 2-2.
That one's sailing back into the parking lot along the first base line. Battles back into this one, was down 2-0. Now evens up the count on the mound, does Rostron.
Low on a ball and a 3-2 count.
And now loaded up. And not as scary as the situation as he faced with the full count in the first inning. A walk would have loaded the bases. A strikeout would have ended the inning. Now he just has a runner on first, or he ends the inning. So not as much to think about, but you want to end this inning as quickly as possible.
Full count. Pitch. Did he go around? No, and it will be a walk.
And it was a very close call that had to be made by the first base umpire. Looked like he almost broke that threshold, but did a good job stopping himself at the very last moment to halt the progress and reaching first base.
Jackson Bossoni, the shortstop sophomore, wearing number 6, up to bat for the Carbon Dinos with the runner on first and 2 down.
Yesterday, Bossoni was filled in for by a designated hitter.
Pop up to the catcher, looking into the sun. Can't make the play. As he was looking in the sun was Costello. Couldn't make the catch, and it falls to the ground for the strike and a 0-1 count.
You can tell he's pretty upset about that one. He kicks the dirt, pounds his glove. I can't blame him. That's one of those ones you're going to kick yourself. But you look above us, that sun's right in your eyes. He's staring right into it. Going to be a challenge for anyone, no matter how good you are at fielding.
So we have a 0-1 count with the runner on first for the Dinos, trying to tie this game up. It's 1-0 North Sanpete. Fly ball goes out to Maddox Bailey, and he will make the catch for out number 3.
2 innings, 2 inning-ending catches for Maddox Bailey. He's been putting on a show out in center field for North Sanpete.
No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, it's 1-0 North Sanpete.
Imagine a smooth, hassle-free journey to the front door of your new home with the Driggs Mortgage Team guiding you every step of the way. Hi, this is Greg Driggs. Our seasoned experts understand the ins and outs of home financing and refinancing. Come visit us at our new permanent address, 8 East Main in Price, where we plan to be a staple for years to come. Start your journey today. Call 801-427-3577. The Driggs Mortgage Team, NMLS number 272076, Equal Housing Opportunity. Driggs Mortgage Team is a DBA of Premier Mortgage Resources, LLC, NMLS 1169.
We still believe in innocent until proven guilty. Oliver Law is committed to making sure your rights are protected and seek for the best possible outcome for your criminal case. We've helped countless clients get through their legal troubles. So if you or a loved one feel that you have no one to turn to, you do. Oliver Law in Price. Everyone deserves a great defense attorney. 435-637-6060. Or go to robertoliverlegal.com to request a free consultation. Robert Oliver, passionate about defending the underdog.
You're listening to the High School Baseball Game of the Week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Osborne will start us off for North Sanpete in the bottom of the second inning with a 1-0 Hawks lead. Playing left field, 1 for 4, had a single yesterday, and the first pitch is a ball and a 1-0 count.
Falling behind early, but Kennedy, he's someone who can find his footing very quickly and change the tide of an inning in the snap of a finger.
1-1 count for Chayton Osborne, the left fielder. Sophomore wears number 16. So 1-1 count. There's the pitch. Fly ball will drop in front of the center fielder for the Carbon Dinos, Bennett. He'll throw it in, but not before it becomes a single for Osborne, the leadoff batter on base for the Hawks.
And yesterday he was 1 of 4 with a single, so already matching his offensive output from yesterday.
Oldroyd will be up for North Sanpete, 1 for 1, had 1 walk yesterday as well. So runner on first with nobody down and a 1-0 Hawks lead. Kennedy looks at first couple of times. Oldroyd shows bunt, pulls back, and it's a ball and a 1-0 count.
Good eye by Oldroyd, staying calm in the batter's box. Yesterday, in yesterday's game, he was 1 for 1 and added a walk onto that.
1-0 count, shows bunt again.
And we talked about it a little bit yesterday. We see a lot of more bunts than we used to in high school baseball. You want to stay aggressive on the bases. You want to advance that first runner to second by any means necessary, it feels, even if that means sacrificing one batter trying to reach first.
Made contact with the bunt, so it's a 1-1 count. Small lead on first. Pitch in for a strike and a 1-2 count.
Right down the pipe with that one for Kennedy. I don't quite understand why Oldroyd pulled that bunt back. If he would have kept it, it looked like he would have been making contact, but probably best to play it safe.
So we have a 1-2 count with nobody down. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. That will be strikeout number 3 for Kennedy.
And Kennedy had a little bit of help on that one due to the bunts, but it still takes a lot to finish that job, and he did just that for out number 1 this inning.
Shortstop Tyson Guido's up to bat for North Sanpete with 1 down and a runner on first. Kennedy looks over at first, and the pitch is high and outside, and the ball 1-0.
And Guido's yesterday 0 of 3 in the contest, now looking to find his first hit of the series against the Dinos.
Looks over at first a couple of times, shows bunt. Runner goes to second. The throw. Got him. Nice play by Carbon. Good play by the catcher for the Dinos. Madrigal with the throw to second. They get the runner.
And that's what you want to see. North Sanpete's been aggressive on the bases all series long. That's the first time the Dinos have really been able to capitalize on that. Like you said, a great throw by Madrigal from behind home plate for the out.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down. High fly pop up into the infield. Third baseman for the Carbon Dinos. Vigil will come up with it, and that will end the inning as we go to the top of the third with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. 1-0 North Sanpete.
Keeping your car in proper running order takes time and effort to maximize the life and performance of your vehicle. Your vehicle is a necessity to your daily life. Complete Auto Repair Service, or CARS, in Wellington understands a vehicle working properly is a vehicle without worry. From the little things like headlights and wipers to regular maintenance or even bigger problems. Take a breath and trust your skilled hometown mechanic at CARS in Wellington. You can put your full confidence in their team, and they'll get you back on the road in no time.
At Desert View Federal Credit Union, driving away in your dream car is as seamless as the open road. With personalized lending solutions and branches in Huntington and Farron, getting the financing for your new car, truck, or SUV is easy. Desert View Federal Credit Union can even finance RVs. Experience the credit union difference. Go talk to a loan officer today.
Membership and eligibility apply. Loans on approved credit. Member NCUA.
At Desert View, it's all about you.
You're listening to the High School Baseball Game of the Week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Top of the third inning for the Dinos. We go to the top of the lineup. Rich Butler will bat. He is 1 for 1, singled on his first at bat. It's 1-0 North Sanpete here in the top of the third inning.
And he reached all the way to third before the inning came to a close, Sonny. He was that close to scoring the first run for the Dinos, but North Sanpete had other plans, ending the inning before he could do some damage.
Rostron with the pitch. Shot to third. Fumbled around, and it'll be a base hit for Ridge Butler. So he gets on once again the leadoff batter for the Carbon Dinos has got on first base all 3 times. A single, a walk, and a single. Now Logan Bennett will come up to bat 1 for 1 on the day as well.
Now this inning you want to see him be able to do something with that. Now Ridge Butler on base, anything's possible. The kid is so fast. He can turn any play into a scoring play in the snap of a finger.
Takes a little bit of a lead over on first. Swing by Bennett goes foul out of play and an 0-1 count.
In softball, the one team from the Castle Country still alive in the tournament is the Emory Spartans today. In the winners bracket, they fell 9-8 to defending state champion Grantsville, but currently in the one-loss bracket, they're facing the Richfield Wildcats, where they're up 1-0 in the bottom of the third.
Pitch for a strike and an 0-2 count.
In our other Castle Country baseball game, Emory finds themselves down 4-0 after 2 against Manti. Manti looking to extend the series against the 12-seed Spartans.
Rostron looks over at first. The pitch gets past the catcher on the third strike, and the runner will go to first, and runner on first and second now for the Dinos.
And you talk about taking a bad situation and changing it completely. What a good run by Butler, taking the strikeout, reaching all the way to second.
So we have a runner on second. Coming up to bat, Mike Vigil. Flew out to center field his first at bat. He is 0 for 1 on the day.
Looking to try and get the bats going here.
So 0 for 1 on the day, and the first pitch is way outside and a ball in a 1-0 count with the runner on second for the Carbon Dinos.
And Carbon, with a runner in scoring position, wants to knot this game up. We saw them not score their first run until the 6th inning in game number 1 of this series. They want to get something going a little quicker this game.
Rostron with the pitch. Away once again in a 2-0 count.
Jumping ahead early is Vigil. He's a very patient batter, and again, like you said, yesterday he was 1 for 3 with a double, one of the Dinos' 2 hits.
2-0 count, inside the ball, bounces around, Catcher can't find it, and the runner advances to third for the Dinos.
And that's what we say about Ridge Butler. Steals second, steals third, up to 13 steals on the season for the senior. He is a spectacular base runner. That's what really sets him apart from other athletes.
So we got a 3-0 count with one down on a runner on third, and a chance here for the Dinos to get that one run back. They trail 1-0. Top of the third inning. And a strike call. Deal was on his way to first base. He said, got the inside corner in a 3-1.
He got about halfway to first base before he had to be called back. It's always hard because the batters have a much different vantage point, even than the umpire. They have their own feelings about this, so I can understand why you leave for first.
And a strike. As he watches it go by in a 3-2 count. Now it's full.
And a good recovery by Rostron in this at-bat. Goes down 3-0, throws 2 consecutive strikes, and now looking to put the strikeout away.
Rostron's pitch. Got him on the corner. Theo was on his way to first again. And the umpire says strikeout, and that will be strikeout number 1 in the ball game for Rostron, and it'll be out number 2, and Maddox Wilson comes to the plate. Flew out to first base with that high pop-up. Inning number 1, 0 for 1 on the day.
Umpire got really into that strikeout call. I like when officials show a little emotion behind their calls like that.
So 2 down, runner on third remains for the Dinos, and the pitch is a strike and an 0-1 count.
And Rostron has found his rhythm. 4 consecutive strikes now he's thrown. He has found something that's working up on the mound.
0-1 count. Here's a fly ball center field, playing it perfectly out there is Maddox Bailey. He'll make the catch to end the inning with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base as we go to the bottom of the third inning. It's 1-0 North Sanpete.
At Price Pediatric Dental, they help patients stay in excellent oral health. With a focus on preventative care, Dr. Markham, Dr. Lund, and Dr. Bod will take the time to get to know each of their patients and create a plan for lifelong oral health. Proper dental care in children's teeth will set the groundwork for a healthy set of permanent adult teeth in the future. They recommend that you visit your dental office for a cleaning twice a year, keeping your child's mouth healthy and clean. Call 637-9590 to schedule an appointment today.
Picture this. A sudden burst pipe, flames engulfing your kitchen. Disaster strikes when you least expect it. But fear not, because Restore Wizard of Price is here to save the day. Their team of restoration experts is ready to tackle any fire or flood emergency from start to finish. They're not just here to fix the damage, they're here to restore your peace of mind. Don't let disaster catch you off guard. Call Restore Wizard of Price, 637-9165. Restore Wizard, the magic of a fresh start.
Now, back to the action. The high school baseball game of the week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Bottom of the third inning, 1-0. North Sanpete with the lead, and they're up to bat. We go to the top of the order. Preston Matson struck out in inning number 1, so he's 0 for 1 on the day.
And looking to get back on track, keep those runs coming for North Sanpete.
Fly ball to center field there to make the catch for the Carbon Dinos is Logan Bennett for out number 1.
And Logan Bennett throughout the year has had some spectacular plays out there in center field. A few diving catches, looks like Superman sometimes. Able to come up with that one for out number 1.
Maddox Bailey up to bat. He walked in the first inning, scored the run. The only run of the ball game, the 1-0 lead for North Sanpete. And Kennedy gets the sign in the first pitch. Line shot to right field will drop for a base hit.
And Bailey's been very consistent now in the series. He's 3 of 6 at the plate, putting together a stellar performance this series against the Dinos. He doesn't want to go home. He wants to keep the season alive for North Sanpete.
Sophomore first baseman Hudson Smith will come to the plate wearing number 7, grounded to second. He's 0 for 1 on the day.
0 for 4 in the series is Smith. Where he's made his impact felt, though, was up on the mound yesterday, delivering that gem.
Norville leadoff over on first base for North Sanpete. Pitch is fouled out of play and an 0-1 count.
And North Sanpete has continued what they were doing yesterday. They're making a lot of contact with the ball. They're putting it in play. They've been able to break their curse from yesterday a little bit of leaving runners stranded, but still early in the game, plenty of opportunities to try and throw a few more runs on the board.
Small lead once again on first. Kennedy looks over there a couple of times. The pitch is low and a ball. A 1-1 count.
1-1 count. Kennedy up to 45 pitches today.
One count with one down. Looks back at first once again. Fouled out of play once again and a 1-2 count.
Little bit of a reach on that one for Smith. Looked like that one was scraping the bottom of the zone, going out the left two. Reaches over, swings at it, fouls it off. 1-2 count now. Kennedy with a chance for another strikeout.
So 1-2 count with one down. Runner on first and a 1-0 North Sanpete lead. They're up to bat. There's a little bouncer to second. The throw in first in time for out number 2. The runner advances to second. Nice play that time by Butler to make the out, and we have 2 down.
And Butler eyes down Bozzoni with his foot on second base. Thinks about trying to make a double play out of it, but makes the smart baseball decision. Underhands it to Falk for out number 2.
Costello up to bat, walked in the first inning. So runner on second with 2 down for North Sanpete. They lead 1-0.
0-2 on the series, but reached on an error, reached on a walk last game and had the walk this game as well.
Pitches a strike and an 0-1 count.
Jumping ahead early, that's when we see Stockton Kennedy at his best.
Pretty good sized lead on second. Kennedy looks back a couple of times, and the windup in the pitch. And a ball and 1-1 count.
Evens a backup, a good eye at the plate by Costello.
U.S. Eastern playing today as well, playing Salt Lake up in Salt Lake. Another baseball game going on for the local area.
It's a fun time of year, isn't it?
Yeah, they fell short by 1 run yesterday in extra innings. The pitch for the ball and a 2-1 count with 2 down to a Salt Lake team that's ranked highly in the nation. That's a good Salt Lake team.
And unfortunately, that's just been the case all year as they faced the Bruins 9 times, fallen 8, but all of them have been decided by 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah, it's been good games. The wind up in the pitch by Kennedy, swing and a miss, and an 2-2 count with 2 down.
Stay impatient in the box. Now Kennedy has a bit of an advantage.
Looks back at second once again a couple of times. Shot right back at him. Caught by the shortstop for the Carbon Dinos. Bozzoni makes the play, and that will end the inning.
He's so solid out there in shortstop. You can tell why they put a lot of trust in him as a sophomore. He's making all the right plays in shortstop.
No runs, 1 hits, no errors, 1 left on base as we go to the top of the 4th inning. It is a 1-0 North Sanpete lead.
At Landon's Diesel, they understand the heartbeat of your diesel truck. Whether it's the rig that powers your livelihood or the everyday vehicle that drives your life, the trained technicians at Landon's Diesel are here to keep you rolling. Plus, with 24-hour towing service, support's just a call away, anytime, day or night. Drive into Landon's Diesel for expert care tailored to you and your truck. Because when your diesel needs expertise, Landon's Diesel is always here.
We're not going out on a limb when we say,
I want to go to Juniper.
Juniper Kitchen. Fantastic food, fun atmosphere. Known for their made-from-scratch pizzas, Juniper has the very best pastas, burgers, salads, wraps, hoagies, paninis, appetizers, loaded sodas, desserts, vegan and vegetarian options. Dine in for lunch or dinner, Tuesday through Friday, 11 till 8. Saturdays, noon till 8. Order online at JuniperKitchenUtah.com with DoorDash delivery. Stop beating around the bush for a great meal.
I want to go to Juniper.
Juniper Kitchen and Price.
You're listening to the High School Baseball Game of the Week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Rosron comes back out on the mound for North Sanpete as we go to the top of the 4th inning, and it is a 1-0 Hawks lead.
And they're doing a good job of staying ahead in this contest. They play great defense. That's what's been able to save them in this series. Yesterday we saw them strand 11 runners.
Pitch goes inside for a ball and a 1-0 count to Logan.
But they were able to come away with the 2-1 win thanks to that defense and an absolutely great game pitching by Hudson Smith.
Grounder to the third, fielded cleanly there by Olson. So the first for out number one.
And we've seen Olson sometimes struggle with those ground balls coming his way. They'll bounce out of him. He'll fumble with them as they come into his glove. But that time, he was spot on with the field and the throw to first.
Paxton Falk up to bat, walked in the second inning. Nobody on in a 1-0 lead here in the top of the fourth. First pitch is a strike and an 0-1 count.
He's 1 of 3 on the series with that walk, but also has the lone run scored by the Dinos with the home run he hit in the 6th inning yesterday.
Pitches a ball and a 1-1 count high and outside, so 1-1 with one down.
And they're treating him like the power hitter he is, Sonny. They're not trying to give him anything easy.
Matson on deck, fly ball to right field. That could be trouble. It'll drop for a base hit. So the single for Falk and the runner on base for the Carbon Dinos with one down. And coming up the bat is Tyrus Matson. Hit into a double play in inning number 2. The left fielder senior yesterday was 0 for 2, had one walk. Child's on deck for the Carbon Dinos. So runner on first with one down.
209 hitter on the year in Madsen.
Shot to third, covered there by Olson. Throw to second in time. Throw to first for the double play, and they got it to end the inning.
I got to give it to him. That was a pretty impressive double play.
Yes, it was.
They've done an excellent job turning those when they've needed to. When they need a defensive gem, that's what they've been able to accomplish time and time again. North Sanpete is really excelling in that category today.
Olson to Madsen to Smith for the double play, and that will end the top of the fourth inning. As we go to the bottom of the fourth, it's 1-0 North Sanpete.
Hey, it's Bill Hicks, owner of Farlenos. I've got some exciting news. Spring hours are here. Monday through Thursday, we'll be here from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And on Fridays and Saturdays, we're open until 9 p.m. And for those lazy Sundays, we'll be serving up your favorites from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Whether you're grabbing a quick bite or enjoying a relaxing meal, Farlenos is a place where the locals eat. And we can't wait to see you more often. Come on down and let us treat you to something special.
At A Perfect Smile, they specialize in transforming your smile with precision and care. From porcelain veneers and dental implants to orthodontics, crowns, and bridges, their expertise covers every aspect of general and cosmetic dentistry. Dr. Jackson and his team are here to address even the most challenging dental concerns, helping you achieve a smile you'll love. Ready for a smile makeover? Call A Perfect Smile today, 637-2100, to schedule an appointment.
Now, back to the action. The high school baseball game of the week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
So, Wyatt Williams comes to the plate. First pitch, a check swing. The umpire on first base says he went around, so it's an 0-1 count.
You know, you got to love the formatting of the umpires here. It's always nice to have as much backup as you do here on the diamond.
1-1 count with nobody down here in the bottom of the fourth inning and a 1-0 Hawks lead.
Quick score update coming out of Spanish Fork, the softball complex. Emory High up 2-0 over the Ridgefield Wildcats heading into the top of the fifth inning.
Grounder to third. Tough play for V Hill, can't make it, and it'll be a single for North Sanpete. And the leadoff batter in the bottom of the fourth inning, Williams, is on.
And the fact that V Hill was even able to halt the progress of that ball, it came screaming off the bat. A good job keeping it from going into the outfield. If it did, might have turned into a double for North Sanpete. Although, despite the error, holding them at first is something you'll take.
Third baseman Olson up to bat for the Hawks. Struck out in the first inning, 0 for 1. Runner on first with nobody down. First pitch is outside and a ball and a 1-0 count.
Olson 0 of 3 this series, but has 2 walks to his name.
Both pitchers throwing mid-50s so far. Pitch count The pitch of the ball and a 2-0 count.
I thought you were talking speed for a second. I was a little confused. I'm like, I think that's a little faster than 50, Sonny, but you're right. Both sitting in the mid-50s with their pitch count.
57-54 on the pitch count. Kennedy looks over at first with a little bit of lead by the runner on first, and a strike call, 2-1.
And an update coming out of Kate Field in Salt Lake. Salt Lake Community College and Utah State University Eastern tied at 1 in the top of the 5th inning. USU Eastern was up 1, but a 2-out RBI brought home a runner for Salt Lake to knock this one back up.
Bunt down the first baseline goes foul, and a 2-2 count.
And that's a bunt you're very glad went foul, because that would have led a runner for sure reaching to second, and it potentially could have led to Olsen reaching first.
2-2 count. Nobody out. Runner on first for the Hawks.
Out in Manti, the game still 4-0 in favor of the Manti Templars.
Decent lead on first. The pitch. Shot right over the shortstop. Base hit goes out into left center field, and the single produces runners on first and second. A couple of singles for the Hawks to start the bottom of the 4th inning, with Osborne coming up, and he singled in the second, 1 for 1.
It's the first hit of the series for Olsen. Now 1 of 4 with 2 walks. As stepping into the box, like you said, will be Osborne. And like you said, singled earlier this game, a pair of singles to open up this inning. North Sanpete firing on all cylinders, looking to bring at least a few insurance runs home to maintain their lead.
Runner on first and second. First baseman for the Dinos, Falk, comes up and plays close.
Call a timeout. Osborne steps out of the box. A 161 hitter on the year total. 10 hits in the regular season to go along with 9 RBIs.
Nobody out. They play bunt. The bunt happens. The throw to the lead runner is out on third. Nice play by Kennedy. So with 1 down, runner still on first and second. So that bunt not really successful.
It's always good to see your pitcher willing to make plays like that, come down off the hill, field it, and make the play where it needs to. And a good read by making that play at third base, getting the force out.
Gage Oldroyd up to bat, struck out in the second inning, 0 for 1. Yesterday, 1 for 1 and had a walk as well. So runners on first and second with 1 down.
Few players on this North Sanpete squad having themselves a very good series. Oldroyd is one of them.
Shows bunt again and a foul and an 0-1 count.
I don't necessarily understand going back to the bunt after how the last at-bat went. I get the rationale behind it, don't get me wrong. I just don't see it in practice working.
0-1 count with 1 down. Runners on first and second. Bunt again, fouled away again, and an 0-2 count.
Jumping ahead early. The bunts just haven't been working this inning for North Sanpete. That's what's really brought them behind here with 1 out. It made the force out at third a reality, and now he's fallen behind 0-2 in the count.
So we got an 0-2 count with 1 down. See what they do here. Kennedy looks back at second. Good size lead, and stepping out of the batter's box, and we'll do it again with an 0-2 count. 1 down and a 1-0 Hawks lead here in the bottom of the 4th.
And it feels like North Sanpete's base running aggression has finally caught up to them. They're not being able to get away with quite as big of leads as they were getting away with in game 1 of this series.
Kennedy's pitch high and away, and a ball and a 1-2 count.
1-2 Kennedy. First ball of this at bat. First time also Oldroyd didn't try to lay down the bunt.
One-two count. Kennedy gets the sign, looks back at second a couple of times, and then throws the pitch, and it's a fly ball into right center field. And coming over to make the play for the Dinos is Wilson for out number 2.
And when Maddox Wilson gets moving, he moves like a freight train. He's hard to stop by anyone but himself. So being able to stop on a dime, make that catch for out number 2, big props to the right fielder.
Tyson Grito's up to bat, flew out in the second inning, 0 for 1 on the day. So 2 down with runners on first and second. Fly ball to left field. That could be trouble, and it goes over the head of Matson. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score, and it's a 3-0 lead with the double by Guidos.
You know, sometimes when you stop trying to go for the easy bunt and you decide to swing like that, good things can happen. A deep double for Guidos brings 2 runners home, and North Sanpete buys themselves a little breathing room. Now only a run with another runner in scoring position and 2 outs. They can do a little more damage this inning.
We go to the top of the order with Preston Madsen. He's 0 for 2, struck out, flew out to center field. A runner on second with 2 down.
0 of 4 on the series, but was able to score a run when he was hit by a pitch in game 1.
3-0 score. Bottom of the 4th. Hawks with the lead. Dino's trying to get this bottom of the 4th done here with 2 down. A runner on second. Kennedy looks back. Throws a strike and an 0-1 count.
Yeah, right now you just want to end the inning. You want to get out of this nightmare before North Sanpete can continue their momentum. Because this is a team that's built on a lot of speed. We saw it on the double. They're not afraid to send from first. So anything into deep outfield will bring a runner home.
Pitches the ball and a 1-1 count.
Evens it back up. A good eye by Madsen.
1-1 with 2 down. Kennedy looks back at second. Fouled out of play. 1-2.
1-2, 2 out. Stockton Kennedy looking to end this inning while keeping his pitch count in the low 70s. 69 pitches thrown throughout the game.
So far, 2 runs on 3 hits in this inning. The bottom of the 4th, a 3-0 Hawks lead. And the pitch, shot to third. That's going to go through the gap out in the left field. They will hold and corner base runners for the Hawks on the single to left field.
And head coach Austin Hadley does a great job running out in front of his guy, telling him, hold your horses, stay at third. And with runners in the corners now, with 2 outs, the momentum for the Hawks continues offensively. They're doing a great job right now, swinging that bat, making contact, and putting it where no fielder has a chance.
So runners on the corner, Maddox Bailey comes up to bat. He walked in the first and scored a run, singled in the third. So not the batter you really want coming up if you're the Dinos with runners on the corner with 2 down. See what happens. Kennedy's first pitch is a strike and an 0-1.
Paints that left outside corner beautifully. Kennedy trying to get his groove back, get something going for himself up on the hill before the disaster continues to spiral.
0-1 count. Fly ball to center field. That could be trouble, but making the catch out there is Logan Bennett to end the inning.
And Logan Bennett took what, like he said, could have turned quickly into trouble and snagging it out of the air, stranding 2 runners for North Sanpete on third and on first. But not before the damage is done. 2-run inning for North Sanpete.
2 runs, 4 hits, 2 left on base as we go to the top of the 5th. It's 3-0 North Sanpete. Dinos up next when we come back.
Step up to the plate with Eastern Utah Community Credit Union. Just like baseball, managing finances is all about making smart plays. Whether you're aiming for a home run with a new home loan or stealing second with unbeatable auto loan rates, our team is here to coach you through every financial inning. Slide into our branch today and let's hit a financial grand slam together. Eastern Utah Community Credit Union, where everyone gets VIP treatment.
Membership and eligibility required. NCUA insured. Loans approved on credit. Equal housing lender.
When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, then buy from your friends so you can depend on. Hi, this is Oscar Martinez, sales manager at Blue Diamond GM. I was raised here and this is my home. Blue Diamond GM is your hometown dealership with parts, sales, and service. We can take care of your vehicle no matter what part of the journey you're on. Come in today and check out our new and used vehicles. We pride ourselves in taking care of you because you are friends and family for a lifetime.
Now, back to the action. The high school baseball game of the week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back as we go to the top of the 5th inning. It's a 3-0 Hawks lead. The Dinos coming up to bat will be Childs to start the inning. Game number 2 yesterday, a 2-1 win for North Sanpete. A must win for the Carbon Dinos here in game number 2. To make it go 3 in the first pitch is outside the ball and a 1-0 count.
And right now it feels like the Dinos are going to need to start that rally sooner rather than later, falling down 3-0, heading into the top of the 5th inning. We need to get something going. You don't want to make this a late game comeback attempt. You don't want to try and do this all in the 6th or 7th inning. You want to get that started now.
So we got a 2-0 count. Dinos need to get the leadoff batter on base, and now it's a 3-0 count, so they have the good opportunity to do it. Does Childs, as he's ahead of the pitcher, 3-0.
And Childs has a good eye, someone you don't want getting on base either. 6 base on balls this season.
Strike and a 3-1. That was a take all the way and a 3-1 count.
Still a hitter's count, though. If Childs feels confident in what he's seeing, he could take a swing, try and put something into play, try and turn a walk into a double.
Fouled out of play, and that 3-0 count quickly goes to a full 3-2 count.
Battles back very efficiently up on the mound. You got to give a lot of credit to the Hawks, especially Rostron. He does an excellent job maintaining composure when things start to get a little scary.
Pitch. Got the strikeout, so he falls behind 3-0 and comes back and gets the strikeout. So that is the strikeout number, 2?
That is strikeout number 2 on the day for Rostron. He hasn't been doing his damage in the batter's box, but he's been putting those pitches in places where the batters can only hit short bloopers to the infield or easy fly balls. He's had great control over that. Yeah. The batters just haven't been able to find anything for Carbon.
4 hits on the day for the Dinos. 4 left on base for the Dinos as well. Top of the 5th inning, 3-0 North Sanpete. 1 down, and coming up to the plate for the Carbon Dinos will have a change. It will be Canyon Grant, the junior.
Stepping in a relief position. Grant, 13 games played this season, a 111 hitter through 18 plate appearances, 2 hits, 2 RBIs.
First pitch, outside the ball.
And Rostron, in these early at-bats, tends to struggle with control, but as he gets used to the batter, he gets a little more on point.
Pitches a ball and a 2-0 count.
Tries to hit him with the off-speed curve, just doesn't get enough break.
Strike and a 2-1 count.
Starts to work his way back into this one, staying patient in the box. Do the Dinos.
Nice strike base hit. Between third and shortstop, goes out into left field in the single. So Grant comes into the ball game for the Carbon Dinos and gets the single. And the Dino has a base runner as we come to the top of the batting order. Ridge Butler, 2 singles on the day, 2 for 2.
And on the series, Sonny, 2 of 5 with 1 walk. Those 2 singles coming today have provided a lot of hope for the Dinos. He's reached third both times he's seen the field, but he's been unable to be brought home.
So 1 down, runner on first, 3-0. Hawks with the lead. And the first pitch is a ball and a 1-0 count.
Down low in the zone, Rostron again can't find the zone in these early in these plate appearances.
Rostron looks over at first. Throws the pitch, which is a ball once again, in a 2-0 count as that ball was high and outside.
And Ridge has got to be feeling pretty confident right now, wants to keep the momentum going.
Bennett on deck for the Dinos. High fly ball, could be trouble coming over to make the play as the second baseman almost behind first, and that's a nice play by Matson coming over to make the play for out number 2.
That was a very good play, and that could have been trouble in a few ways, Sonny. If that ball would have dropped in between that circle of fielders, we hadn't seen any movement at all coming out of Canyon Grant. Ridge almost to first base would have resulted in an out for sure in that situation. So, bit of a tough situation you find yourself in there for all parties involved.
Bennett to the plate for the Carbon Dinos. First pitch is a ball and a 1-0 count. He singled in the first inning. Single would be nice right now for the Carbon Dinos with 2 down and a runner on first. Pitch is outside and the ball 2-0.
1 of 5 in the series, hitting 200 against the Hawks.
Rostron missing outside here. last couple of batters. Pitch, swing and a miss, and a 2-1 count.
And it feels like once Rostron can get that first strike, he is a completely different pitcher. It's like a flick of a switch, and he knows where he needs to put that ball.
Vigil on deck for the Carbon Dinos. We got Bennett in the batter's box. Pitches inside and a 3-1 count.
And now a real hitter's count for Bennett. Can do some damage here if he's able to get an extra base hit. Looking at the speed that was shown on the initial run by Grant, he could theoretically reach home.
And a walk.
And now runners on first and second for the Dinos with Vigil stepping up to the plate. Had one of the two Dino hits yesterday with a deep double into left center field. Looking to replicate that success today.
Flew out to center field in the first and struck out in the third. 0 for 2 on the day. Runners on first and second. 2 down for the Carbon Dinos. Rostron with the pitcher. The windup, the pitch is outside and high and a ball and a 1-0 count.
Again, hitting 200 this series in the Super Regional against North Sanpete.
2 down. 1 runner in scoring position right now. Swing and a miss and a 1-1 count. Dinos trying to cut into that 3-0 Hawks lead here in the top of the 5th.
You got to give a lot of credit to the scoreboard operators, Sonny. They are on point when it comes to changing that.
Yeah. Makes it easy. Just look up at it and you know what's going on. Here's a little grounder to first base. Did he make the tag? He did not. We'll have bases loaded. He missed the tag. I mean, just barely missed it. We have bases loaded on the single by Vigil.
That's one you could hear the stress in the Dinos fans as well as in Vigil as he narrowly avoids that to load the bases. An error, not in the scorebook, but Rostron just unable to come up with the tag there.
So we have bases loaded with 2 down. Coming up to bat for the Carbon Dinos, number 17, the junior Maddox Wilson. Playing right field, 0 for 2 on the day, but here's his opportunity with bases loaded and 2 down.
Now you got to remember, he's a .322 hitter on the season. A chance to knot this game back up or at least start the rally.
Rostron's pitch is a ball and a 1-0 count.
Now, this is a situation you don't want to leave the runner stranded. You need to get something done here.
1-0 count. 2-0 count on the ball. So he falls behind 2-0, does the pitcher. Wilson ahead. 2-0.
And Wilson, a hitter's count starting to form. He has a lot of leeway right now. If there's something that feels comfortable to him to take a swing at, he's going to be doing just that.
2-0 count. Did it hit him? It did, and that will score a run. So Wilson hit by a pitch with bases loaded, and 1 run comes in.
Not an ideal way to get on base, but one that if you're bringing someone home, you're going to take that pitch every time. And it looks like we're going to have a mound visit and a potential pitching change coming for the Hawks.
3-1 the score. The Hawks with the lead here in the top of the 5th inning, but the Dinos have something going. As they have bases loaded, hit by a pitch, bases will still be loaded, and the 1 run comes in, so it's 3-1. And Logan Madrigal will come up to bat. He's 0 for 2, flew out to center field, grounded to third. Opportunity for the Dinos to cut into this lead anymore. The 3-0, now 3-1 with 2 down.
And this is a stressful situation for North Sanpete. They had felt like a very comfortable 3-0 lead, but in high school athletics, especially baseball, no lead is truly comfortable until that final buzzer sounds.
Rostron will stay into the game. They come out and talk to him. They'll go to the dugout. He stays into the ball game with bases loaded. Big at bat here in this ball game. 3-1 the score. Pitch to Madrigal is outside and a ball and a 1-0 count. Remember, a walk scores another run.
That it does, and Costello has a tall task in front of him, too. Behind home plate, he can't let anything get past him, or it's going to more than likely result in another Dino run.
Falk on deck for the Carbon Dinos. Pitch is a strike and a 1-1 count.
That was a really good frame job by Costello. That one looked like it was going to go down. He snaps that glove back into the zone. Umpire agrees with it. He knots the count back up 1-1.
One count, bases loaded. 3-1 score. Hawks with the lead. Top of the fifth inning and a ball 2-1 way outside. So a 2-1 count.
Now it really is a battle of momentum right now. Carbon, if they're able to score, keeps the rally alive. Rostron, if he's able to escape the inning, looks like he can snap back some momentum to the Hawks.
Shot down the first base line, goes foul. Little bouncer. So we got a 2-2 count.
You can tell Madrigal breathing a little sigh of relief that one ended up going foul. Would have been an easy play at first had it not.
So we got a 2-2 count with 2 down. Bases loaded for the Dinos. They trailed 3-1 here in the top of the fifth inning. Must win for Carbon. Losing yesterday 2-1. It's a best of 3. The winner goes on to Utah Valley. Timeout called
right now
by the batter. So
looking at the wind right now, 6 miles per hour is how it's blowing. So not really a lot of breeze coming here.
A pretty good day for baseball. So bases loaded. Here we go. 2-2 count. Big pitch in this game. Swing and a miss. And that'll end the inning with bases loaded. But not before the Dinos do score 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 3 on base. As we go to the bottom of the fifth inning, it's 3-1, North Sanpete.
Is it time to trade in the old and get something new? If you've been driving by the dealerships, scoping out the selection, and you're not seeing what you want, Auto Farm Price Ford is here to help. Hi, I'm Justin Kennedy, sales manager here at Auto Farm Price Ford. Stop by today and let us pre-order your dream vehicle. You can choose every bell and whistle straight from the factory. Best of all, when your vehicle's done, it will be delivered right to the dealership, so stop by to Auto Farm Price Ford, 811 Westwood Boulevard. Let us order your dream vehicle today.
This is Dave
and Ryan
from Dave and Ryan's Movie Review.
Experience movies the way God intended them to be seen. On the big screen.
At the King Cole Theaters.
And action. Whether it's stunning action,
heart-stopping horror,
tender romance,
gut-busting comedy,
or wholesome family flicks,
movies are always better
on the big screen. Connect on Facebook for instant access to showtimes and the latest blockbusters.
With showing 7 nights a week and matinees on weekends, you can immerse yourself in the magic of movies at the King Cole Theaters.
It's the high school baseball game of the week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
So we go to the bottom of the fifth inning with the Hawks up 3-1. The Dinos had an opportunity there, leaving bases loaded. They've left 7 on base in this ball game, trailing 3-1. Kind of a opposite of yesterday.
Yeah, no, that today feels like a completely different game from yesterday. I mean, still low-scoring affairs, but gotta love what you're seeing from both of these teams. The Dinos finding some life offensively.
So Hudson Smith up to bat, 0 for 2, grounded to second both times. Kennedy's pitch is in for a strike and an 0-1 count.
And Kennedy had a stretch there where he was looking a little shaky. Looks like that arm was getting a little tired, but opens up this inning with that strike, silencing any doubt that he's going to be able to keep going.
Pitch of the ball, 1-1 the count. I think Dinos really need to get out of this bottom of the fifth because the sixth inning, the Dinos have to score some runs. You don't want to go into the seventh inning needing runs to stay alive.
Yeah, no, you don't want that to be the situation you find yourself in. You want to get at least some of the damage done in this inning. You don't want to go into the seventh and try and rely on that.
Foul ball goes out of play and a 1-2 count.
I got an update coming out of Spanish Fork. Emory comes away with the 9-0 victory over the Richfield Wildcats. They'll advance in the consolation bracket. One loss earlier today against the Grantsville Cowboys. They fell in that one 9-8 to the defending state champions.
Some softball scores, and there's the pitch. Fly ball to center field, could be trouble. Nice catch out there by Bazzoni, the shortstop, going out making a catch halfway in the center field, a diving catch, and it will be out number 1. That's a big play.
That was, and again, the sophomore making plays at shortstop where he needs to be, when he needs to be, and he's been a key defender for the Dinos today.
Costello up to bat, walked in the first, flew out to shortstop in the third inning, so he is 0 for 1. And that just gets over Bazzoni this time at shortstop and a single.
He used all his hops on that first play.
Great effort. He almost got to that one, too, as well.
He dove for it, just was unable to get it. Maybe a few more inches in that vertical, and he can snag it down. But you got to give him credit. He left it all out on the field on that play.
Wyatt Williams up to bat. 2 singles on the day, 2 for 2. So 1 down, runner on first, and a 3-1 Hawks lead in the bottom of the 5th inning. Kennedy looks at the catcher, gets the sign, now looks over at first. Foul to the backstop and an 0-1 count.
Got an update coming out of Kate Field in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake Community College has claimed a 3-2 lead over Utah State University Eastern heading into the bottom of the 6th.
Another battle.
Always is between those two teams. You can tell it's a rivalry game.
Yeah. 0-1 count with 1 down. Kennedy's pitch. Shot to third. Nice play by Vigil. Out at second. Throw to first in time for the double play, and that'll end the bottom of the 5th inning.
That's what the Dinos needed to do. You didn't want them to gain any offensive momentum. You shut them down completely and thoroughly, and you escape it. So Dinos looking to come storming back in the top of the 6th. They need to put a few runs on in order to keep this one close.
So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on after that double play. And it's a 3-1 lead for the Hawks when we come back.
I'm here with Dr. Callie at Castle Valley Orthodontics to talk about common questions regarding braces. Dr. Callie, am I too old for braces?
No, never. We have quite a few adult patients that come into our office to seek orthodontic treatment, whether for the first time or to fix things that might have gotten back to being crooked from not wearing retainers. So age is not a problem. As long as the teeth and gums are healthy, we can do braces. Give us a call today. Castle Valley Orthodontics, 637-2222. And we will schedule you for a free consultation.
It's fun! It's our favorite place.
Strike up family fun for everyone. Gateway Lanes. Families that play together stay together. And Gateway Lanes is your center for fun, cold beer, snacks, and great food. So let Gateway Lanes do the cooking with open and league bowling year-round and Club Bowl Thursday night, 9 till 11:30, with unlimited bowling including shoes. Since 1989, Helper's Hometown Bowling Center, Gateway Lanes, South Main Street in historic Helper, and bowlhelper.com. Let's roll.
It's the high school baseball game of the week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
So the right-handed pitcher, the senior Gage Robinson, will come into the ball game for North Sanpete, and a good outing for Peyton Rostron.
That it was. He held the Dinos to only 1 run, and he did an excellent job at the mound. Just lost a little bit of that control in the 5th inning. Hit a batter to get a runner home.
Falk to the plate. First pitch is a ball in a 1-0 count. He walked in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, so he's touched first base both times he's came to the plate.
And he's been a real offensive hero for the Dinos throughout this series, having that home run in Game 1 and now just continuing his offensive explosion here in Game 2.
Pitch called in for a strike. There's a shot, base hit between third and short. And the leadoff batter in the top of the 6th inning, Paxton Falk reaches first base for the Carbon Dinos, and that was really needed badly. And Tyrus Madsen comes up to bat for the Dinos. 0 for 2 on the day.
That wasn't a pinch runner coming in for the Dinos by way of Cash Withers, the junior, stepping out to first base now. Robinson on the season, only 11.2 innings pitched. In those 11 innings, though, 18 hits, 20 runs have been scored against him, 10 base on balls, 7 strikeouts, giving up 1 home run as well.
Top of the 6th inning. It's a 3-1 Hawks lead. Leadoff batter on first for the Carbon Dinos. They show bunt. Bunt goes down the first base line. It's a perfect bunt, and runner advances. So with a single, puts runners on first and second for the Carbon Dinos, and you can't bunt it any better than what Madsen just did.
No, that was textbook. That was beautiful as it bounces along the first base line. No one able to get it in time, and the Dinos have started this inning on fire. Runner on second and first now.
Cannon Childs up. Senior wearing number 11, the DH. He walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 5th. 0 for 1 on the day. Runners on first and second for the Dinos here, trying to have a big inning in the sixth, trailing 3-1. Lays down another bunt. Throw to third. Is it in time? No! Bases loaded with nobody down for the Dinos, and they have something going. Three singles.
And they've taken North Sanpete's strategy, and they've executed it to perfection, bunting the bases loaded as the umpires gathered together on the mound.
So we're having a little bit of a discussion by the umpires, not sure what's going on, but it's a 3-1 game here in the top of the sixth in favor of North Sanpete. Dinos up with bases loaded. The runner is out at first.
The fans aren't happy about that one. And Coach Smith having a pretty animated conversation right now with the umpires.
And they're running everybody back first and second, but they called the batter out. Did he step on the plate? I'm not quite sure what he did.
That's the only
honestly.
thing I can think of. Yeah, no, let me pull up the rule book, Sonny. I'll see if I can find something other than that.
They call him out. They put the runners back to first and second, and up will be Grant for the Carbon Dinos.
Yeah, the fans not happy about that call one bit.
And the batter is hit by a pitch. We have bases loaded once again. So Grant gets hit by a pitch. So he's singled, hit by a pitch. He's touched first base both times. I wished I knew exactly what happened there. I can't give you an exact.
I think we're hearing it could be an interference call, but the old saying kicks in there, ball don't lie, Sonny, as the Dinos again load the bases.
So we have a 3-1 game. Bases loaded, one down.
Yeah, that one out could prove crucial here, Sonny, if North Sanpete can turn a double play. We've seen them do it time and time again this game, so far twice, and it's saved them when they've needed it most. So if they can do that again, they can escape this inning unscathed and make it a tall task for the Dinos. But it feels like Carbon playing with all the momentum right now.
Butler to the plate, 2 for 3, a couple of singles. Flew out to second. So 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 down.
2 for 6 on the series, Sonny, and you don't want to be facing him in this situation. Ridge can make it happen.
Pitch to the ball and 2-0 count.
Carbon just staying patient. They're unfazed right now. They're playing a little bit with house money with the bases loaded. They can make a lot happen right now, especially with only 1 out.
Absolutely. And the pitch for the strike and a 2-1.
And Robinson finally gets the break he wants on that curve. A nice little off speed to get his first strike of the at-bat.
2-1 count with 1 down. 3-1 count with 1 down and bases loaded. A ball here scores a run for the Carbon Dinos, cuts that lead to a 3-2. It's 3-1 right now in the top of the sixth. Hawks with the lead. Dinos batting, bases loaded, 3-1 count. Fly ball to center field will be covered out there by Bailey. 1 run will score on the sacrifice fly, and it's 3-2.
And the Dinos have answered back. Even if they aren't able to put another run on the board this inning, they've done themselves a major favor heading into the 7th. They have a chance now to either knot this one up, take the lead, tying run at second, lead taking run at first.
2 down, runners on first and second. Logan Bennett up, singled in the first, walked in the 5th. So an opportunity here for the Dinos. They trail by 1. First pitch, got the corner and a strike and an 0-1 count.
That was a good job painting that corner by Robinson. He finally has found his area he wants to be throwing at.
Feehill on deck for the Carbon Dinos. 3-2 game, top of the 6th. Foul ball goes to the backstop, so it'll be 0-2 count.
Jumping ahead early, Robinson can do himself a huge favor here if he can escape this by only allowing through 1 earned run. We talked about it yesterday, Sonny. Pitching was going to be one of the main deciding factors in this contest. Yesterday, North Sanpete burned their ace. Now, he can't pitch for another day, so we're not going to be seeing him the rest of this series.
Strike. Throw to first. And they get the double play.
This has been a strange inning.
Yeah, it has been a very strange inning. But the strikeout, and then they throw to first. They get the double play, and that ends the top of the 6th inning with run, 3 hits, and no errors, and 2 left on base.
Yeah, 2 left on base,
Right.
but the Dinos did themselves a major favor there by scoring a run to make this a 1-run affair. They're slowly chipping back into this one, and the best part is they don't have to try and do all the damage in the 7th.
Yeah, that really was a strange inning, wasn't it?
You know, I'm at a lack of words for some of the things that happened there. Also a lack of knowledge for some of the things that happened there. But, yeah, going into the bottom of the 6th, North Sanpete ahead 3-2.
So strikes out at the plate, and then they throw to first, and they get the double play. So that's how we sit as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it's a 3-2 Hawks lead. And coming up to bat will be Ashton Olsen. He'll start us off. He's 1 for 2, struck out in the first, singled in the 4th on the day. So with the 3-2 game, as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, so the Dinos will have one more offensive chance to get that 1 run back.
And if you're North Sanpete right now, you're hurting for a few insurance rents. You want to get something going. But if the Dinos, Kennedy's still on the mound, he's only thrown 79 pitches this game. Very efficient through 5 innings so far.
So North Sanpete scored a run in the first. They scored 2 in the 4th. That's how they got their 3. The Dinos scored 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. So you can kind of see the momentum changing towards the Dinos. But they still trail by 1, 3-2, and here we go. The first pitch is a ball and a 1-0 count.
Over in Manti right now, Emory's starting their rally as well. Heading into the 5th, 5-3 advantage for Manti. Emory starting to chip away in that contest.
Emory winning their first game yesterday. Fouled out a play and a 1-1 count.
Up in Cape Field in the top of the 7th, Saltway Community College leads Utah State University Eastern 4-2. The Bruins looking to come away with a sweep.
Eagles giving them all they want up there, aren't they? The pitch is a ball.
That they are, and it's that theme in the Castle Country, Sonny. None of these teams quit. They don't know how.
2-1 count. Nobody down. 3-2 Hawks lead, swing and a miss, and a 2-2 count.
Evens it back up there. Kennedy breathing a sigh of relief. He doesn't swing on that one. Looks like it was going ball. But now with the 2-2 count and a chance to get out number 1 of the inning.
2-2 count. Shot to third. Tough play for Vigil. Can't make it. And the single for North Sanpete, and Olsen is on. So the leadoff batter goes to first for the Hawks, and coming up the bat will be Osborne, singled in the 2nd inning. He is 1 for 2.
And looking at the rest of the series, Osborne 2 for 6 in this series, had a single in game 1. Now the Dinos, it feels like every time they get something going for themselves, North Sanpete responds with something of their own to swing back some of that momentum, but they have one more offensive chance to try and get this done.
So Kennedy will be taking a seat, and he pitched a good game, didn't he?
That he did. You got to give him a lot of credit. He faced some adversity, but he was able to battle through it very effectively. You like what you see from him on the mound. He's just a great kid all around, too. I mean, talking to him through football, through baseball, he's the kind of guy you want on your team.
So as he comes out, North Sanpete has 3 runs on 8 hits. They've left 5 on base, and coming in for the Carbon Dinos once again
Paxton
will
Falk.
be Paxton Falk.
Making his return to the mound. We saw him in the closing slot yesterday. And, you know, UHSAA rules state that if you throw less than 35 pitches, you are allowed to throw without rest, but you can only throw up to 75 over a 2-day span. So Falk looking to try and get things done quickly. But on the season, A 5.79 ERA through 12 appearances. Goes along with 33 strikeouts.
So he'll go from first base to coming in to pitch for the Carbon Dinos with a 3-2 Hawks lead and nobody down. Runner on first.
Yeah, and maybe some change is what they need up on the mound right now. A fresh arm, a new look that the Hawks haven't become accustomed to. They faced Kennedy a few times through now. They're starting to get familiar with what he has in his arsenal. Falk provides a new face.
Osborne at the plate. Runner on first, nobody down. 3-2 the score. Hawks with the lead, bottom of the sixth. Pitch is a ball and a 1-0 count.
And it's going to be a battle right now. North Sanpete looking like they're not taking as big of leads as we've seen them take throughout this series. They're playing it a little safer right now. They know they need to add a few runs of insurance.
Shot to the second baseman. Throw second for out number one. Throw to first is wild, and the runner will stay on first, but they get the one out.
And the runner advances as well to second. Not the initial runner who was at first.
Right.
He's out.
Right.
But the runner who reached first is now at second.
Right, because of the throw that went into the dugout, so the runner advances. Yep. So he'll be on second. So we have one down with the runner in scoring position for North Sanpete, and going over to play first will be Wilson.
And if North Sanpete has any time where they want to break that streak of leaving runners stranded, it's right now.
So one down, runner on second, takes a pretty good lead. Falk looks back at second. Pitches a ball.
I like the communication we're seeing from Oldroyd right now at the plate, too. He's eyeing down second base, telling him, wait, don't try and make this steal attempt.
He's 0 for 2 on the day. So the runner on second takes a pretty good lead, and we'll have a timeout.
Taking a stop now. And again, that lead at second base has been a theme for North Sanpete. They get about 15 feet out, and Carbon doesn't really try and throw any pickoff attempts there, and it's probably for the best because if something goes awry, that runner's heading to third with little to no resistance.
1-0 count with one down. He looks back at second once again. Does Falk, looks a couple of times. The pitch and the ball, 2-0.
That one flirted with the zone. It was right there on the precipice, but umpire says it just wasn't enough. Up in the count, 2-0.
So it's a 2-0 count with one down, 3-2 the score. Bottom of the sixth. Dinos need to win. Losing yesterday 2-1. It's a must win here this game. And the strike falls right over the plate.
Beautiful off-speed curve from Falk. That one just kind of soared through the air, dropped when it needed to, fooled the batter.
2-1 count. Nice lead once again at second. Falk gets the sign, looks back at second. Swing and a miss and a 2-2 count.
Evens it back up. We see a lot of control from Falk on his off-speed pitches, but when he needs to deliver a fastball, he has a lot of velocity behind it.
Two count with one down. Paxton looks back at second once again. Pitch and got the strikeout as he watches it go by.
Ring him up for out number 2. Paxton Falk knows that he has a runner in scoring position. Doesn't phase him one bit. Gets the strikeout and out number 2 of the inning.
Tyson Gritos up to bat. Flew out in the second. Doubled in the fourth. He's 1 for 2.
1 for 5 on the season so far, hitting 200. The series, excuse me.
So 2 down. Runner on second. 3-2. Hawks with the lead here in the bottom of the sixth.
A scoreless frame would do wonders for the Dinos.
Falk looks back at second. He's been there for a while. There's a pitch and fouled away. The runner's been on second for a while. they've kept him there.
They've
done a good job.
They've done a good job throughout the series, too, of holding that runner at second. We've seen a few steal attempts work for North Sanpete, but we've seen a few pickoffs work as well.
0-1 count with 2 down. Shot down the third base line. It's going to go fair. 1 run will score for North Sanpete on the single. Just out of the reach of Vigil. Made a great effort, but just a nice hit to get the single for Guidos.
Yeah, it was flirting with the foul line, but bounces off the tip of Vigil's glove and brings a runner home. Because of that, it stays fair. And they did what they needed to do. They needed an insurance run desperately, and they were able to come away with one.
Dinos get that 1 run back in the top of the 6th. North Sanpete takes it back in the bottom of the 6th, and it's a 4-2 game. 2 down. Runner at first. First pitch is a ball and a 1-0 count as we go to the top of the order for North Sanpete. Preston Madsen up. Struck out in the first. Flew out to center field in the third and singled in the fourth. He's 1 for 3 on the day.
Now the task gets tougher for the Dinos as they approach what could potentially be their final offensive chance of the season.
Falk looks over his shoulder at first. Small lead this time. The pitch is a ball and a 2-0 count.
We saw that large lead pay off on that sprint from second to home.
Not a big lead off on first this time for North Sanpete.
They keep that lead off at first a little closer than they do at second. Yeah. Now, we've seen a throw from behind home plate, 2-second work before for the Dinos. That's the area they found a lot of successes holding them at first. It's once they get to second, that confidence starts to build.
2-0 count with 2 down. It's a 4-2 Hawks lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Fly ball. Could be trouble. It is. Drops for a base hit between second and center field, and another single for North Sanpete.
And the singles have what's been power in their offense all series long. You don't see very many doubles from this squad. They just kind of dink and doink, but it works. They're able to draw out these innings, put runners on base, and continue to reach home plate.
3 hits here in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Hawks. It's 4-2 game.
Over in Manti, it's a 5-4 ball game starting the 6th. Emory starting a rally of their own. Both teams from the Castle Country looking to keep their season alive. Emory looking to put away the Templars. Carbon looking to force a game 3.
A couple of really good games going on for local teams here. Pitch by Falk, swing and a miss, and an 0-1 count with 2 down.
And the lead up in Salt Lake continues to increase, up 5-2 in the top of the 8th over USCU Eastern.
Must win for the Eagles as well. So it's an 0-1 count with 2 down, 4-2 score. Hawks with the lead. Bottom of the 6th inning, they're batting. Runners on first and second. Shot to Butler. Bobbles it to first. Not in time. We'll have bases loaded.
And that's been the theme throughout the season, Sonny, is these errors. That's what's come back to bite Carbon. Early in the season, we saw a lot of them. They were able to clean them up mid through the year, but now when the lights are shining brightest, things are getting a little hairy for the Dinos defensively. They have the bases loaded now after what felt like it was going to be a sure thing. They would go into the 7th with only down 3-2, but now knocking on heaven's door again, looking for a few more insurance runs is North Sanpete.
Hudson Smith up to bat, 0 for 3.
He's 0 of 6 on the season, so if you're going to be facing a batter right now from North Sanpete, Smith might be the one you want to see up there, but they have the momentum on their side right now.
First pitch is a strike, and it's an 0-1 count with 2 down, bases loaded. A chance for North Sanpete to really break this game open and make it really difficult for the Dinos in the 7th inning, but there's 2 down. Dinos can get this out, and they only need to make up 2 runs.
I feel 1 run here from North Sanpete puts this one in a much tougher position.
Falk looks back at second, looks at third. Bases loaded. Fly ball will go out of play in an 0-2 count.
And if you're a batter, you got to be glad that one went far, far foul. Because if that would have stayed even a touch close to that third base line, it could have been an easy play for the Dinos to try and end the inning.
Bottom of the 6th, it's a 4-2 game. Hawks with the lead and have bases loaded. Home team, North Sanpete here in game number 2. 0-2 count. Crowd making noise. Pitch. Shot to second. Butler makes the play. Throw to first in time for the out, and they'll leave the 3 stranded.
And that was a good recovery by Butler. He looks at only what lies ahead of him, able to make the scoop and grab, make the play at first to halt any more insurance runs coming through for North Sanpete. But arguably the biggest offensive opportunities for the Dinos coming up here of the season.
1 run on 3 hits, 1 error, 3 left on base as we go to the top of the 7th. It's a 4-2 North Sanpete lead when we return.
We still believe in innocent until proven guilty. Oliver Law is committed to making sure your rights are protected and seek for the best possible outcome for your criminal case. We've helped countless clients get through their legal troubles, so if you or a loved one feel that you have no one to turn to, you do. Oliver Law in Price. Everyone deserves a great defense attorney. 435-637-6060 or go to robertoliverlegal.com to request a free consultation. Robert Oliver, passionate about defending the underdog.
It's the high school baseball game of the week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
We go to the top of the 7th. It's a 4-2 North Sanpete lead over the Carbon Dinos. Dinos need at least 2 runs here to keep this season going, and up will be Mike Vigil.
Yeah, this is do or die time, Sonny. This is what legends are made of. If the Dinos can come back and force a game 3 in this series. North Sanpete looking to punch their ticket to Utah Valley University next week. The Dinos want to extend their season. Last year in the playoffs, we saw the Dinos on the receiving end of an upset by North Sanpete, who was the 14 seed. Dinos were the 3 seed. Game 1 were reverse swept by the Hawks, looking to have history repeat itself, but in the opposite direction.
So Preston Madsen, the senior, comes in to pitch for North Sanpete.
Preston Madsen on the season, up on the mound, has a 6.9 ERA, a 3-2 win-loss record. He was who I thought was going to be starting this game for North Sanpete.
First pitch is a ball and a 1-0 count.
Also looking at his stats, 24 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, 22 walks through 135 batters faced.
Pitch number 2 is a ball as well, 2-0 the count.
It always takes a second for these pitchers to find their footing. You see them fall behind typically when they first enter the game or at the start of the game for the starters.
3-0 count.
And Vigil staying patient in the box. He knows if he has an opportunity to swing, he can take it. But he'll take a walk right now, put someone in position for the Dinos.
3-0 count. Top of the 7th. Dinos need 2 runs. Strike and a 3-1 count.
Now you want to take a swing if it feels like it's going to land in that strike zone. Vigil staying patient, but you don't want to have a full count.
Pitch by Madsen. Popped up, out of play, 3-2.
That's one you're glad went back into the fence instead of onto the field. Would have been an easy can of corn catch.
So it was a 3-0 count. Madsen, the pitcher, works his way back to a full count, 3-2. 4-2 the score. Hawks with the lead. Dinos here in the top of the 7th inning. They need 2 runs. The pitch is a ball and a walk, and the leadoff batter for the Carbon Dinos reaches first on a walk. Exactly what they needed. Maddox Wilson comes up to bat for the Dinos. 0 for 2, and he was hit by a pitch in the 5th inning.
And it feels poetic that Vigil was able to reach there on a walk. Last time we saw him in a situation like that, a few calls from the umpire that he thought should have been balls were called strike, and it ended up sending him back to the dugout on a strikeout.
Pitch to Wilson is a strike and an 0-1 count.
You want to play it a little safe with Wilson. You don't want to give him anything easy. We've seen it on a few hits that didn't end up in his favor. He can hit out to the warning track. You don't want him putting it over the fence here.
Looks over his shoulder. Nice lead. Ball to throw to first. Did they get him? No. Nice effort. Didn't get him. Getting back is Vigil. That's a 1-1 count.
Probably too close for comfort for Vigil. Breathing a sigh of relief right now. North Sanpete, you got to give them a lot of credit. They play very smart baseball, especially on the defensive side.
4-2 the score. Top of the 7th. Count is 1-1. Nobody down. 2-1 count. Pitch is a ball. It's low, so a 2-1 count.
He jumped out to that early 0-1 advantage, but now falling behind in the count.
2-1, small lead over at first. for the Dinos. Ball and a 3-1 count.
Tries to have that one break back into the zone, just doesn't get the movement that he wants to see.
We're going to have a catcher-pitcher mound visit here with a 3-1 count, nobody down, and the runner on first for the Dinos in jeopardy of walking the first two batters.
And Austin Hadley is a lucky manager to have a leader on this squad like Costello behind the plate. He's someone who can really calm the nerves of everyone on the field. We've seen it before. Every pitcher that North Sanpete's thrown up on the mound this game has found themselves in early ball trouble, but he's been able to calm the nerves, steady the sea, and to coax out some pretty good performances from North Sanpete's pitching staff.
3-1 count. Madsen. Fly ball center field, playing it perfectly out there is Bailey for out number 1. Runner stays on first.
A little Maddox v. Maddox action. Wilson hits it. Maddox Bailey out in center field is able to pull it in. He tracks it very well, and it's a tall task right now. Clouds starting to roll in a little bit, but sun still shining right in that zone.
Logan Madrigal up to bat. He is 0 for 3 on the day with a runner on first and 1 down for the Dinos.
0 for 5 on the series, but he was able to reach on an error in game number 1.
Pitch. Just over the head of Logan. He ducks, and it'll be a ball and a 1-0 count.
That one's slipping off of his fingers, Madsen's fingers, just a little bit more than he'd like and a little sooner than he'd like. Nearly strikes Madrigal in the head, but ends up sorting right behind him.
Falk on deck for the Carbon Dinos with 1 down. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a 1-1 count.
You can tell Madrigal wants to go to the fences with these swings. He's got a lot of power behind it. Of the 3 home runs now that the Dinos have hit this season, Madrigal is responsible for 1.
Looks over at first once again, a couple of times. Pitches a ball and a 2-1 count outside. So 2-1 count with 1 down.
And whatever Costello said to Madsen during that mound visit has obviously worked so far. He's been a much different pitcher since that conversation.
North Sanpete with the lead 4-2. Top of the 7th. Madsen's pitch, high in a ball, 3-1. Once again, another in jeopardy of walking. Second batter of the inning. That'll put runners on first and second. 3-1 count.
I mean, you'd have the potential tying run on first in that situation. It's a situation North Sanpete, if they can't avoid it, wants to.
Swing and a miss and a full count, 3-2.
Loads it up now, and a scary situation for all parties involved. Madsen on the mound got a lot running through his head. Madrigal at the plate has a lot running through his head. Vigil on first. He's looking a little scared out there.
Huge pitch here. 3-2 count with 1 down. Looks over at first, does Madsen. The pitch. That's a ball, and he'll take a base. Runners on first and second with that walk. And Paxton Falk up to bat. He has singled twice, scored a run, and walked. So he's touched first base every time he's got to the plate, and we'll have a mound visit.
And, you know, if you want to have someone at the plate in this series stepping up, you want to see Paxton Falk. Had the home run last game to make it a 1-run affair. And now with the tying run on second as they put in a pinch runner as Brody Ware comes into the game for Madrigal. Ware, the junior, stepping into his place. But you put something in deep outfield where no one can touch it, you're bringing in at least 1. And that makes it a much more manageable game. North Sanpete wants to escape this without blowing this lead.
So it's a 4-2 game here in the top of the 7th. North Sanpete with the lead, 1 down, runners on first and second for the Dinos.
I think the song choice of Falk fitting right now, Count Me Out, playing. You never want to count the Dinos out, especially when they're starting to rally.
Looks like Madsen will stay in the ball game. So here we go. Falk's had a good offensive day with a couple of singles and a walk. He had a good offensive day yesterday with a home run. Let's see what he can do here with runners on first and second. 1 down, first pitch is a ball and a 1-0 count.
Now, if you walk the bases loaded here, that's going to be probably the worst case scenario outside of a home run for North Sanpete.
Madsen on deck for the Dinos. Pretty good sized lead on second and first. Pitches a ball and a 2-0 count.
Tries to break it into the zone, can't graze it, but behind in the count 2-0. Falk looking calm as ever. You can tell that this was a do-or-die at bat.
Yeah, 2-0 count. The pitch, strike, 2-1.
Kind of lulled him into a false sense of security there, able to deliver the fastball right down the pipeline with no swing.
Yep, I almost think he took that.
I think so too.
2-1 count. One down. Madsen looks back at second. Swing and a miss and a 2-2 count.
Battles back, and now he has a little more leeway. If he throws the ball here, all it does is load the count instead of walking the bases loaded. But Madsen wanting to sit down Falk.
Every pitch gets bigger. So we have 2-2 count with one down, 4-2 score. Hawks with the lead. Dinos at bat, top of the 7th. They need 2 runs. Fly ball down the first base line will stay in play. Nobody can get to it, and it will be a strike and a 2-2 count.
You know, you got to give a lot of credit to first baseman Hudson Smith. He was sprinting to try and pull that one in if it did come within his range. 2-2 count still. Falk looking to stay alive and hopefully bring something in for the Dinos and continue the rally. Madsen on the mound wants to halt the momentum.
Dinos have scored 1 run in the 5th and the 6th. Swing and a miss and the strikeout. So out number 2.
Tyrus Madsen stepping up to the plate now for the Carbon Dinos. The senior, a 209 hitter on the year through 69 plate appearances. And I don't know if you wake up and expecting it to be the biggest at-bat of your career today, but that's the situation he finds himself in with 2 outs and runners on first and second.
Singled his last at-bat. There's the pitch. High in a ball and a 1-0 count. So we got 2 down. 4-2 score. Hawks with the lead. Dinos up top of the 7th.
I don't think you ever plan on having great moments. They're just kind of thrust upon you. And for Madsen, a chance to end the inning and advance North Sanpete to the state playoffs.
Runners on first and second for the Dinos. Both take pretty good sized leads. They'll step off the bag and reset.
And for Tyrus Madsen, a chance to tie this game up. I didn't realize that until now. This is a Madsen-Madsen matchup.
Yep. Madsen looks back at second. Throws a strike and a 1-1 count with 2 down.
And this is one of those situations where, regardless of what it is, you kind of want to go down swinging if you are to go down.
Gets the sign once again, looks back at second again. Shot down the third base line, that's a base hit. Goes out into left field, rounding third, 1 run will score, and it's a 4-3 game for the Dinos. They cut it to 1. Exactly what they needed was a single, and they got it, and they stay alive here in the top of the 7th inning. It's 4-3.
And a good job by the Dinos. Tyrus Madsen right along the third base line. Ropes that one out there. 4-3, looking to force a game 3 in this series as well. Big time plays coming from the senior.
So Cannon Childs up to bat. He walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 5th, and singled in the 6th. It is a 4-3 game here in the top of the 7th inning. Runners on first and second for the Dinos with 2 down. Man, we've had a couple of great games, haven't we?
That we have, and I feel it's fair to say this is the stretch of the Dinos lineup you'd hate to be facing as a pitcher when the stakes are this high.
Madsen looks back at second. The pitch, high in a ball, 1-0.
Childs, a 304 hitter, second on the team in batting average this year through 69 plate appearances, 14 hits, 5 RBIs.
Grant on deck for the Carbon Dinos. Madsen looks back at second again, gets the sign, the windup in the pitch. High in a ball, 2-0.
And he's trying to hit that left inside corner, but he just hasn't been able to fall it in the umpire's liking.
Great single down the third base line by Madsen to keep this game going. Gets the RBI, cuts it to 4-3. They've scored 1 run in the last 3 innings. They need 1 more to make this game go further. The pitch for a strike and a 2-1 count with 2 down. 4-3, North Sanpete. Top of the 7th for the Dinos with 2 down, runners on first and second.
I don't know about you, Sonny, but my heart is racing, and this time I didn't even drink an energy drink beforehand. This is all natural.
Childs at the plate. 2-1 count, 2 down. Pitch by Madsen. Shot to the shortstop, fielded there, throw to second in time, and it's the ball game.
And the Hawks storm the field, water flying. And you got to give North Sanpete a lot of credit. They did what they had to do throughout this series. They played gritty baseball, and they're rewarded for it. Just a great showing by North Sanpete, but you can't discount the Dinos for their effort in this contest. I mean, they come storming back 3 consecutive innings with a run, almost tie it back up in the top of the 7th, but North Sanpete able to hold on with the ground ball throw to second.
So in the top of the 7th, 1 run, 1 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. Final score, North Sanpete 4 and the Carbon Dinos 3, and they sweep the Dinos in the 2 games in the best of 3.
And you can't look at this and say that this was a blowout sweep. This was one of those sweeps where every game came down to the wire. 2-1 yesterday, 4-3 today. It came down to a few key plays made by North Sanpete that made all the difference in this series. They were able to come away with the victory because of it, but you can't discount what the Dinos were able to accomplish on the diamond these past 2 days.
So the Dinos have 3 runs on 10 hits, no errors. They left 11 on base. North Sanpete scores 4 runs on 11 hits, 1 error. They left 8 on base. North Sanpete comes away with the win. Final score 4-3. And they beat the Dinos in 2 out of 2, and they will move on to Utah Valley and the Dinos. Their season comes to an end.
And you're going to circle that runners left on base statistic this game. That was going to be either team that lost this contest. That's going to be what they're looking at. A few times this game, Ridge Butler was stranded at third base in scoring position, just couldn't bring him home, and just couldn't execute at times when it was needed, but there was no quit in this Dinos team. Came storming back, nearly tie this game up with a chance to take the lead, and just were unable to do it.
Got to give North Sanpete credit, though. They come on the road, and they beat the Carbon Dinos twice here at home.
Yeah, that's 2 years in a row.
Yeah, 4-3, 2-1, both one-run games. Both games were great. Both games could have went to either team. Honestly, these were even games. North Sanpete just gets the one more run in both games, and they sweep the Dinos 2-0.
This was a series that was decided by a few key plays from North Sanpete. But like you said, Dinos, spectacular season, a great year for Carbon.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Eastern Utah Community Credit Union post-game show. Again, the final score, North Sanpete 4, the Carbon Dinos 3. North Sanpete moves on, and the Carbon Dinos, their baseball season has come to an end. We'll have more when we return.
Step up to the plate with Eastern Utah Community Credit Union. Just like baseball, managing finances is all about making smart plays. Whether you're aiming for a home run with a new home loan or stealing second with unbeatable auto loan rates, our team is here to coach you through every financial inning. Slide into our branch today and let's hit a financial grand slam together. Eastern Utah Community Credit Union, where everyone gets VIP treatment.
Membership and eligibility required. NCUA insured. Loans approved on credit. Equal housing lender.
When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, then buy from your friends so you can depend on. Hi, this is Oscar Martinez, sales manager at Blue Diamond GM. I was raised here and this is my home. Blue Diamond GM is your hometown dealership with parts, sales, and service. We can take care of your vehicle no matter what part of the journey you're on. Come in today and check out our new and used vehicles. We pride ourselves in taking care of you because you are friends and family for a lifetime.
Is it time to trade in the old and get something new? If you've been driving by the dealerships, scoping out the selection, and you're not seeing what you want, Auto Farm Price Ford is here to help. Hi, I'm Justin Kennedy, sales manager here at Auto Farm Price Ford. Stop by today and let us pre-order your dream vehicle. You can choose every bell and whistle straight from the factory. Best of all, when your vehicle's done, it will be delivered right to the dealership, so stop by to Auto Farm Price Ford, 811 Westwood Boulevard. Let us order your dream vehicle today.
You're listening to the High School Baseball Game of the Week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Welcome back to the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union post-game show. Again, the final score here, game number 2. North Sanpete with the 4-3 win over the Carbon Dinos. They beat the Dinos 2-0 in the series, and they will move on. And Aiden, if you look at pitching, everybody that pitched for both teams really did their job. The difference in both of these games was one play made just at the right time on the offensive and the defensive side. That's honestly the difference in these two games.
And, that's what makes baseball such a special sport it's those singular plays you can circle out that make all the difference in the world. North Sanpete just came away with a few more of them this game.
Yeah, Fihil pitched great yesterday. Falk came in and pitched great for him as well. Stockton Kennedy pitches great today. Falk comes back in today and pitches great as well. North Sanpete just makes a couple of plays to make the one-run difference, and give them credit, too, because Rostron pitched great. Robinson came in, did his job. Madsen came in, did his job. Good defensive play, good pitching. Just like we said, just a couple of hits made the difference in the game. 2-1 yesterday, 4-3 today. And North Sanpete comes away with the 2 wins.
And it felt like today, especially early on, when North Sanpete found themselves in danger of allowing a carbon run, they were able to turn a double play. They were able to come up with something.
Make a play out in the field, yeah.
Make a play out in the field. They were able to come away with those key plays when they were needed, and that's what really set them apart today. Carbon they didn't ever really struggle. The only thing that really was a problem, and it was a problem for both teams, was getting that offense going because the defense was so great throughout the series.
Well, they left 11 on base today. The Dinos did here in game number 2. 8 for North Sanpete. Let's go through it once again. Dinos scored 3 runs on 10 hits. No errors for North Sanpete, and then 11 left on base for the Carbon Dinos. North Sanpete scores 4 runs on 11 hits. The Dinos had 1 error, and they left 8 on base, did North Sanpete. They come away with the 4-3 win, as we said, but just 2 great games. I enjoyed both of them. They battled. Both of these teams battled to the end, and Carbon always does that. You know you're going to get that out of these kids.
Yeah,
they just fall short today.
You know you're never going to have a group a game where these kids quit on themselves or on each other. They're always fighting to the very end, and that's just, like you said, been the case throughout every sport. But today, North Sanpete just making the right plays at the right time, able to come away with the victory.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, more of the Eastern Utah Community Credit Union postgame show.
Step up to the plate with Eastern Utah Community Credit Union. Just like baseball, managing finances is all about making smart plays. Whether you're aiming for a home run with a new home loan or stealing second with unbeatable auto loan rates, our team is here to coach you through every financial inning. Slide into our branch today and let's hit a financial grand slam together. Eastern Utah Community Credit Union, where everyone gets VIP treatment.
Membership and eligibility required. NCUA insured. Loans approved on credit. Equal housing lender.
When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, then buy from your friends so you can depend on. Hi, this is Oscar Martinez, sales manager at Blue Diamond GM. I was raised here and this is my home. Blue Diamond GM is your hometown dealership with parts, sales, and service. We can take care of your vehicle no matter what part of the journey you're on. Come in today and check out our new and used vehicles. We pride ourselves in taking care of you because you are friends and family for a lifetime.
At A Perfect Smile, they specialize in transforming your smile with precision and care. From porcelain veneers and dental implants to orthodontics, crowns, and bridges, their expertise covers every aspect of general and cosmetic dentistry. Dr. Jackson and his team are here to address even the most challenging dental concerns, helping you achieve a smile you'll love. Ready for a smile makeover? Call A Perfect Smile today, 637-2100, to schedule an appointment.
Hey, it's Bill Hicks, owner of Farlenos. I've got some exciting news. Spring hours are here. Monday through Thursday, we'll be here from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And on Fridays and Saturdays, we're open until 9 p.m. And for those lazy Sundays, we'll be serving up your favorites from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Whether you're grabbing a quick bite or enjoying a relaxing meal, Farlenos is a place where the locals eat. And we can't wait to see you more often. Come on down and let us treat you to something special.
Can I afford a home?
How do I price and list my home?
Do I get pre-qualified?
Do I do an open house?
Does the realtor work for the buyer or the seller?
How do I show my home?
You have questions? Quick Realty has the answers. The only local realtor that uses a 3D camera and does complimentary virtual tours for every client. Quick Realtors are professional and experienced and a premier agent on Zillow and specialist on Realtor.com, East Main Street Price, and at BeQuickRealty.com, Facebook and Instagram. Call 613-HOME, 613-4663.
It's time you started working close to home. GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance is looking for experienced miners, mechanics, electricians, and surveyors to fill local jobs. Stop traveling every week and let GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance find you a job closer to home and your family. No more leaving your family every week traveling to a work site. There are good paying jobs right here close to home, and GMS Mine Repair and Maintenance can help you get started today. Email your resume to kbarker@gmsminerepair.com. Your new job close to home is waiting for you.
We still believe in innocent until proven guilty. Oliver Law is committed to making sure your rights are protected and seek for the best possible outcome for your criminal case. We've helped countless clients get through their legal troubles, so if you or a loved one feel that you have no one to turn to, you do. Oliver Law in Price. Everyone deserves a great defense attorney. 435-637-6060 or go to robertoliverlegal.com to request a free consultation. Robert Oliver, passionate about defending the underdog.
JN Auto says it's time to get in the auto buying game. JN Auto is a game changer when you're looking for a new vehicle, but don't want to pay the new vehicle price. By making JN Auto a part of your team, you can count on finding quality, gently used vehicles with manufacturer warranties and unbeatable prices. You just found the secret to finding the perfect vehicle. It's JN Auto. Check out their huge inventory at jnautosales.com. JN Auto in Huntington and Price.
It's the high school baseball game of the week on KOAL 107.3 FM and 750 AM.
Couple of great games here at Carbon High School. 2-1, North Sanpete wins yesterday, 4-3. They win today. They sweep the Carbon Dinos. And if you take a look at some stats, Preston Madsen, he was 2 for 4 today. Then he came in and did a fantastic job pitching as well. He was huge for North Sanpete. Bailey was 1 for 2. And then you look at Williams 2 for 3, Olson 2 for 3, and Guido's 2 for 3 for North Sanpete. They were the highlights on the offensive side, but good pitching for North Sanpete. They get the 4-3 win.
That they were able to do, and just like I said, a great offensive showing from North Sanpete, but the defense is where both of these teams really made a mark for themselves.
You look at the Dinos, Butler went 2 for 4 today, Falk 2 for 4, Matson 2 for 4. You've got Vihiro 1 for 3, Childs 1 for 3, Bennett 1 for 2. Like I said, it was just a couple of plays were the difference in both of these games. Even baseball, both of these games could have went to either team, just happened to go to North Sanpete.
It was a really good series by the Carbon Dinos, just not the results that they would have wanted. Sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles in this sport.
So looking at some scores from around our local teams playing today. Lots going on, so I'll let you take over here.
So we'll look first at the softball diamond up in Spanish Fork. The Emory Spartans have played 2 games today. In game number 1, in the winner's bracket, they fell 8-9 to top-seeded Grantsville, a game that was close to the very finish. Just were unable to come away with it. They weren't able to put it away was the difference. 5 runs allowed in the 7th inning. That served to be the difference maker. Emory had their offensive explosion early with 6 runs in the 2nd, but were unable to hold on as Grantsville won that game. Falling down to the one loss bracket, they were able to bounce back against the Richfield Wildcats. Emory, dominant performance, 9-0 victory over the Wildcats. They advance to face the South Summit Wildcats, who are coming off a 12-6 victory over the Union Cougars. These two teams met earlier in the tournament. Emory came away with the 8-4 victory over the Wildcats, so looking to have history repeat itself there. We look now over to Manti High School, where right now Emory has come storming back. It's a little impressive. They were down early on in the game 4-0. They have stormed back, retaken the lead 9-5 going into the top of the 7th inning. So a lot of momentum happening for the Emory Spartans. And we'll round out this recap up in Cape Field in Salt Lake. Salt Lake Community College comes away with the series sweep over Utah State University Eastern, winning 7-2. So a rare game between those two that didn't end with a very close margin.
So Salt Lake defeats USU Eastern. They move on. USU Eastern season done. And as you look at Emory, the baseball team with an opportunity possibly to sweep Manti on the road as well.
And that's an upset in every term of the word. That's a 12-5 matchup, 2 familiar region opponents, and they were able to come away. They're looking to come away with the win today. So a lot going on in the world of sports right now. Let's see how those two teams matched up in the regular season. Looking at the schedule for the Spartans throughout the season, when they faced Manta, they split that series. At home, they lost 9-6 to the Templars, but over in Manti, they won 11-4. So apparently the secret for the Spartans, play that game on the road.
Yeah. So here, once again, the final score, 4-3, North Sanpete with the win over the Carbon Dinos. And USU Eastern, they're not done yet. They still qualified for district. They're done with the
Scenic West.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's make that clear.
No, it's all good, but that's a team who has a chance to make some real noise heading into district play. Gotta love what you saw from one of the most successful seasons in school history for the Eagles this year, and happening at historic Ernie Gardner Field. Just a beautiful venue they've played their home games at this year.
Yeah, so they're still alive. Let's make that clear that Salt Lake wins the conference, but USU Eastern has still qualified for the district tournament, so they're not done yet. So here, once again, the final score, 4-3 the score. North Sanpete with the win over the Carbon Dinos. They win 2-0, and with that, that's going to do it for the year for Carbon Sports for us, Aiden.
It is, and it feels crazy that the year has come to an end. Just yesterday, we were starting football season. Now we're here all the way in the spring. North Sanpete's going to advance to face Canyon View in the Utah Valley section of the tournament in bracket play. So a tall task ahead for North Sanpete, but it was going to be a tall task for anyone who won this series. Canyon View, a stellar team.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've gone through football, we had basketball, we had baseball. It's been a fun season.
That it has. It's been a pleasure traveling around the state with you, being in the booth with here. I don't think I want to do this with anyone else.
Hate to see the Carbon Sports come to an end. It does today. Once again, North Sanpete winning 4-3, winning yesterday 2-1 to sweep the series. Anything else before we call it a day?
You know, you have a good groundwork laid out across all of these sports. Let's build on it next year. Go Dinos.
Absolutely. We'll be going here, but at 4 o'clock, don't forget, we'll come back. It'll be Drive Time Sports.
Yep, Jordan's got all the sports, national, local, wherever it may be. He's going to cover it all.
He'll keep you updated with everything going on in the local sports and national as well. So don't go anywhere. Keep it right here on KOAL 107.3 FM and at 7:50 a.m. Once again, the final score, North Sanpete defeats Carbon 4-3. They win the series, and with that, we're going to call it an evening. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Sonny Buscarini, Aiden Mortensen saying